gentlemen, you're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
September 11, 2001 was a clear, bright day in New York, but in the calendar of eternity, it will be forever dark. The true heroes were not on the fields of play. Out of the ashes of tragedy, it was America's pastime that helped with the healing. Sports played a major role in the aftermath of 9/11. And on the 10th anniversary, they will honor those memories by doing what our freedom allows, playing our nation's game. God bless America, indeed. We are 3,000 miles away from what was ground zero, but the attack on the World Trade Center reverberated all the way out to the West Coast, and 10 years ago it happened, and it reverberates still today. But we will have a baseball game for you today as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the LA Angels of Anaheim from Angel Stadium here in Angel, Anaheim, California. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball along with Al Leiter. I'm Michael Kay. 10 years ago today, our world changed completely. Al, you were part of that Mets team, the Yankee team that went to the World Series that year, really helped in the healing. Didn't bring anybody's life back, didn't help heal the holes in people's heart, but it made people get on with life.
You know, Michael, there was so many different feelings that went through the players at the time, and it really sensed a lot about the meaninglessness of what we were doing as far as baseball, and having to have the same mindset, the aggressive behavior to really do what our jobs were in light of everything that took place with the World Trade Center. And I think there's no question about it. What took place in New York, what the Yankees were able to do, what the Mets were able to do, absolutely healed an awful lot of hearts.
Well, obviously, we'll be talking about this throughout this game as well, but we have a baseball game to play between the Yankees and the Angels, and the Yankees come into this game with many injuries that they have to deal with. Alex Rodriguez out with a bad left thumb. Nick Swisher, bad left elbow. Russell Martin had to leave the game in the third inning yesterday with a bad right thumb. Francisco Cervelli is back in New York getting concussion-like symptoms checked out as well. So obviously the Yankees are a little shorthanded, and because of that, Al, Jesus Montero will make his first big league start behind the plate as a catcher.
Yeah, he will, Michael. And Jesus Montero, it hasn't been a question as to whether he can hit, and boy, can he hit. The series against Baltimore, this is an absolute bomb opposite way. I thought this pitch here, reaching out, and this isn't just a wall burner. And then the first game of this series here, he ends up pulling a Jared Weaver fastball over the Yankee bullpen. The tremendous power. Tony Pena has been working with him, as you say, Michael, and because of those injuries, he will be behind the plate today with Freddie Garcia on the mound. I think he's worked very hard. It'll be very curious to see how he and Freddie Garcia work together in the relationship of the calling the game today.
All right, let's look at today's New York Lottery pitching matchup. Freddie Garcia, as Al mentioned, is on the mound for the Yankees as they'll try to snap a 4-game losing streak. 11-7 Freddie is with a 3.50. Another tough pitcher goes for the Angels, Irvin Santana, 11-10 with a 3.18. You know, we thought there wasn't going to be a very big pennant race in the American League, but it looks like there's going to be. The Yankees and the Red Sox are separated by 3 games in the loss column, but both teams have been losing a lot. Tampa Bay is leading the Red Sox right now 4-1 as the Tampa Bay Rays are trying to sweep the Red Sox. You see the West, the Rangers and the Angels separated by 1 game in the loss column, and the wild card is tightening up. If the Rays win today, there's going to be 3 games separating the Rays and the Red Sox, and there's 4 games that these two teams are going to play against each other starting next Thursday at Fenway Park. Well, an emotional ceremony here pregame at Angel Stadium in Anaheim. They unfurled the big American flag. Everything that we stand for on display on a sports stage. Lineup's first pitch baseball coming up next.
Right now, Manhattan Ford is the best place to be with the top 3. The 3 Ford models you want most at prices you'll love best. 1. 2012 Ford Fusion SE for just $139 per month. 2. 2012 Ford Escape XLT for only $137 per month. Or 3. The 2011 Ford Edge SE for just $189 per month. That's 3 great reasons why Manhattan Ford is the best place to be. Online at manhattanford.com and conveniently located at 11th Avenue and 54th Street in the Manhattan Automobile Company.
Whether you're buying your first digital camera or have been a Shutterbug for years, 17th Street Photo is the right camera store for you. Come in and see our entire selection of Nikon cameras. The Nikon D3100, complete with an 18 to 55mm VR lens for only $699.95. Nikon's Coolpix S4100, 3-inch high-res touch panel color display and HD movie, $139.95. Nikon Inc. USA limited warranty included. So come see us at 17th Street Photo, the camera store with a personal touch.
Hi, I'm Cindy with Lee's Toyota, family owned and operated for over 50 years, where more than 200,000 satisfied customers can't be wrong. Lee's is known as the hallmark of honesty, integrity, quality, and service in the automotive trade. We have a huge inventory of new Toyotas with 0% financing available. There's no waiting. Walk in, drive it home, you own it. Also, we welcome lease returns of any make or model and offer top dollar for your trade. See what a great deal really is at Lee's Toyota.
Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Raymore and Flanagan, furnishing your style with guaranteed delivery in 3 days or less. By Advanced Urology Centers of New York, the best care in the world, right in your backyard. And by IOTV. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. Well, both teams still remain in their dugout. The crew chief has gone over and spoken with both Mike Scioscia and Joe Girardi. That's Brian Gorman, who'll be the first base umpire today. I'm not sure what they were talking about, but Gorman had a long conversation with Scioscia and then went all the way over to the Yankee dugout on the first base side to have a conversation not as long, not as lengthy, with Joe Girardi. They've already exchanged the lineup cards at home plate. We had an emotional pregame ceremony here at Angel Stadium in Anaheim, and as I mentioned, we are ready for baseball. The Yankees are going to try to snap a 4-game losing streak, and the Angels are going to try to continue their winning ways as they try to catch the Texas Rangers. A lot of teams slumping right now in pennant races. Al, we spoke about the Boston Red Sox. It's almost startling how they continue to lose games, and they're trailing 4-1 right now. That's in the 5th inning, top of the 5th inning at Tropicana Field, and that's with John Lester on the mound, and that's their one sure thing. Red Sox right now spiraling out of control.
You know what, and just good for the Yankees, right? I mean, you know, the fact that the Yankees have now gotten this little slump of theirs with the 4 losses, and you look at teams, Michael, and you see it often about the depth of an organization and being able to bring up that young player that can maybe create a spark, as Jesus Montero has shown with the Yankees. But there's no doubt about it, right up in Red Sox land right now, with Beckett's uncertainty and Lackey and the rotation as it is, and now Lester pitching the game that he's doing today, there's a big concern there. Don't forget Tampa Bay, what they're doing, absolutely pushing on the Yankees and Red Sox.
John Lester on the mound today for the Red Sox. James Shields, who's been a complete game machine for Tampa Bay, on the mound for the Rays. And you mentioned good thing for the Yankees. Check out this stat. This is the first time that the Red Sox and the Yankees have lost on each of 4 straight days for the first time since 1985. They've both been so good for so long. The fact that they'd even have a 4-game losing streak, and then to have that at the same time. But the Red Sox have not just had a 4-game losing streak, they've also lost 8 of 10. And their trouble started when the Yankees took 2 out of 3 from them at Fenway Park. Looks like their fortunes changed.
Well, you know, there's no doubt about it, Michael. And I think really when you go through this and talking with Joe Girardi and the Yankee players as a whole, you certainly aren't panicking, and you're not going to worry about it. You betcha at this time of the year with September and you're struggling. Look, the Yankees need to get some offense. They were absolutely stonewalled by the last 2 starters, Danny Herron and Jared Weaver, during this series. They have a tough assignment with Irvin Santana, completely another. I mean, you talk about a tale of 2 seasons for Irvin Santana. He's got a no-hitter under his belt. They got to relax. They're talking to Derek Jeter and all of the players. They know what they have to do. And unfortunately, there is a slump more than just 1 or 2 guys. There's a few guys in that lineup that aren't hit.
They have not scored a run in their last 15 innings. They have really been shut down since they led the Orioles 4-1, and they've scored 1 run since then, and that's an amazing stat. Because of the ceremony, they're going to give the starting pitchers a little bit extra time in order to warm up and be ready for the start of this game. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the lineups, we'll have the first pitch, we'll get you set for baseball right here on Yes.
They just said go to Philadelphia. Philadelphia didn't want to touch me. They said to go to Florida. Florida didn't want to touch me. And then we went to all these hospitals. They just told us to go to different places. Then we finally found the one place, New York New York Presbyterian. So we went to the doctor, and Dr. Cato said that he is going to try to do the surgery. He took all my organs out and put the ones that I needed back in. And I was better, and I was just so happy to be better and cancer-free. That's pretty much my story.
I've been doing this for 15 years. And when you dedicate your life to something, you expect something in return. I guess you could say this is the return. Welcome to my world, the world of Red Bull.
Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by HP, Everybody On, by J&R Music and Computer World, and by Mazda. Zoom. Well, the Yankees in their second stop on this four-city road trip started with one game in Baltimore. That was a makeup. 3 games here in Anaheim. After the game, they will fly to Seattle for 3 games against the Mariners. Then after that, on Wednesday evening after the game, they fly cross-country to Toronto. They'll have Thursday off. That's the only off day that they have the rest of the way. And then 3 games against the Blue Jays. And again, sometimes you wonder, who do you give credit to? Do you give credit to the pitchers, Al? Or do you say that the hitters are simply slumping? Now, you could say that Herron is outstanding. You know that. I mean, that's the bottom line. You could say Jared Weaver's outstanding. But the pitchers that the Orioles threw at the Yankees after it was 4-1, they were not outstanding. Maybe it all just caught up with the Yankees.
I think it's a little bit of both, Michael. There's no doubt about it. When you think about looking down at Derek Jeter and Granderson on deck, you know, Curtis Granderson, what a story he's had. 151 batting average in the last 15 games. You talk about a major loss in a potent offense. And Grandy, Cano in his last 8 games, a 188 batting average. I mean, integral part of this lineup. You have Teixeira, who struggled some, and A-Rod being out. Yeah, I would give credit to these 2 pitchers. And now today, Irvin Santana is not an easy assignment for the Yankee hitters.
No, not at all. So let's take a look at the Yankee lineup that Joe Girardi has put together and is hoping snaps out of this slump. And it's presented by Lexus. Well, the captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, is going to lead off. Batting second and playing center field, it's Curtis Granderson. Mark Teixeira's at first base, he'll hit third. Robinson Cano gets half the day off. He's the DH cleaning up. Batting fifth and catching, first time behind the plate, Jesus Montero. Eric Chavez, the third baseman, bats sixth. Batting seventh, playing right field, Andrew Jones. Eduardo Nunez is the second baseman. He's going to bat eighth. And batting ninth and playing left field is Brett Gardner. Irvin Santana will start for the Angels.
I'll tell you, Michael, Irvin Santana has been hot of late. His first half was not nearly as good as his second half. His last 14 starts have been very good. He's got a no-hitter under his belt, the 209 innings. Look at the 188 hits. Not too bad. The walks are coming down as well. Let's take a look at the Jeep pitcher scouting report. I mentioned about it. A tale of 2 seasons. Before June 21st, he was 3-8 in those 6 starts. In the last 14 starts, he's 8-2 with a 2.18. Very impressive. I said no-hitter against the Cleveland Indians, July 27th. He threw one awesome gem. He got his number. How about this, the Yankees' lifetime? He's 0-5 in his last 5 starts against the Yankees. 5-4 lifetime with an ERA that's pushing on 5.5.
Now let's see the Angel defense behind Irvin Santana, and it's brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. A lot of speed in the outfield, that's for sure. Left to right, Trout, Borges, and Hunter. In the infield, Kayashbal, Ibar, Kendrick, and Trumbo. That's third to first. Bobby Wilson gets start behind the plate, and Irvin Santana is on the mound. You can see Freddie Garcia making his way across the diamond, and he'll head to the Yankee dugout as Santana continues to warm. IOTV offers incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. IOTV is the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. So Santana's finished with his warm-ups. Bobby Wilson throws through, and we are about set for baseball here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Southern California. So Derek Jeter will dig in. Derek 3 for 12 so far in the First 3 games of this road trip, counting that first game in Baltimore. He's at 296, 5 home runs, and 56 runs batted in. But Derek does carry a 9-game hitting streak into this game. So he gets some boos as he's announced to the crowd. He's ready in the right-handed batter's box. Santana is ready as well. And let's do it here in Anaheim. The first pitch is fouled back. So we are underway.
Derek Jeter's got good lifetime numbers against Santana, and that's a good thing. Watch early in the game that the Yankees haven't been able to push early runs. They got the home run from Montero. We've watched an Angel offense that has really been able to manufacture runs this series.
So those numbers that Derek has against Santana, very strong. Derek, one of the Yankees that received the ceremonial first pitch. 6 of them were thrown out. And the key 3 Yankees were out there: Posada, Rivera, and Derek Jeter. Yankees are also joined along the first base foul line during the ceremonies by their former manager, Joe Torre, who was the manager of the team on September 11, 2001. Joe now lives out here in Southern California, working for Major League Baseball. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Jeter down on strikes. Well, we told you it's a beautiful day, so why don't we look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 76 degrees, humidity is 62%, not much wind, and it says partly cloudy, but I dare you to pick out a cloud in the sky right now, Al. Maybe way back there.
Yeah, way up on the mountain range, Michael. I see 1 or 2. A beautiful day.
But above the stadium, just a beautiful blue sky. Here's Curtis Granderson, and he wraps one foul. Curtis Granderson 0 for his last 11 with 6 strikeouts, 5 for his last 41. And check this out about the Yankee outfield: 0 for their last 26.
Well, you're not going to win a whole lot of games in their last 25 innings. They've only scored 1 run. They had 4 base runners yesterday off of Dan Herron.
I think in those 25 innings, Al, they scored 1 run and they have 6 hits. I mean, that's the equivalent of being 2 hit 3 times. And how about this? He had 3 strikeouts yesterday. He has 157, and that ties Soriano for the most in a single season for a Yankee. So he is poised to make history here with a 2-2 count. History that he'd like to avoid. He's had such a great season, but even he has said, I need to cut down on my strikeouts. Grounded to first. Trumbo is there, and Granderson's struggles continue.
Well, funny how that matters. Obviously, when he's hitting the home runs and driving the ball all over the ballpark, we weren't really talking about his strikeouts. But of course, now with his struggles of the last 15 games or so, it becomes something you start looking at.
Now, when I saw that stat, I said, wow, Mickey Mantle didn't strike out more than that, because Mickey was known to strike out a lot. His single season high was just 126. Here's Mark Teixeira inside 1-0.
Yeah, but that was an era when strikeouts were something that hitters were conscious about not doing. Today, I don't think there's too many guys that are really upset that they strike out. There's very few hitters now really have a true 2-strike approach, just trying to put the ball in play.
2-0 to Granderson, misses 3-0. Or should I say Teixeira? Teixeira has 2 hits in his last 12 at-bats. A lot of people up and down this lineup simply not hitting. There's a strike to Teixeira. Count 3-1. Santana working quickly, deals the 3-1. Now it's full at 3-2.
That right there, you know, I'm looking into it, Michael, not making excuses. You have a 3-1 fastball, 92, and you take it.
Swing and a foul tip, held on to by Bobby Wilson, and that'll do it as the Yankees go down in order. 1-2-3. We've been saying that a lot lately. Yankees nothing, and the Angels coming to bat.
The New York Yankees are great moments.
Swung on and line to left field. Down the line, it is gone. It's a walk-off by Mark Teixeira.
Fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Tuesday, September 20th for the last homestand of the regular season when the Yankees take on the Rays. The first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Snoopy Yankees doll, the fifth in the collection, courtesy of MetLife.
The New York Yankees, a proud tradition, a legendary history.
The official ice cream of the New York Yankees could be your ticket to the game. Every carton of delicious Turkey Hill Bronx Bomber Sundae and Pinstripe Brownie Blast is a chance to win Yankees tickets.
Brain freeze. Ringing the closer.
So get into the game with Turkey Hill, official ice cream of the New York Yankees.
Well, the Yankees go down in order. Now Freddie Garcia on the mound will deal with the Angels, and the Angels starting lineup presented by HP. Eric Ibar, the shortstop, leads off, batting second and playing second. Howie Kendrick. Bobby Abreu, the DH, will hit third. Cleaning up, playing right field, Torrey Hunter. Batting fifth and playing first base is Mark Trumbo. The number 6 hitter, third baseman, Alberto Callaspo. Peter Borges in center field will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing left field, Mike Trout. Bobby Wilson's going to catch. He's going to bat ninth.
35-year-old veteran Freddie Garcia on the mound. Had a nice year, coming off his worst start of the year against the Orioles. 11-7, ERA went up almost a half a run. Going to throw a lot of strikes. Not going to wow you with his velocity. Let's take a look at the G pitcher scout report. Steady Freddie. 4 earned runs or fewer in 20 of his 22 starts. Very impressive. I mentioned about the Orioles start being his worst. Changes speeds and throws strikes. That's exactly what he does. A lot of split fingers, changes speeds on his sliders, pounds his zone, and under the sun. 5-1 this year with a 2.8 ERA and 9 daytime starts. And his career, Michael, 54-23. Likes the daytime.
Well, this is certainly daytime, and there's certainly sun. So Eric Ibar will start it off. The Angels have won 6 of 7 and 7 of 9 as they continue to pursue the Texas Rangers. Should be an interesting final 3 games of the season. These two teams play each other on the final 3 games on the schedule. Rangers and Angels, so it could come down to that to see who makes the playoffs. Ibar takes a strike. Jesus Montero behind the plate. Now the scouting report on Montero is he receives the ball well. He actually throws very well. He's good with pitchers that are around the plate, so he probably would struggle with a guy like A.J. Burnett. We have to move around. And it helps him that Freddie Garcia calls his own game. That goes one way, and it almost hit Garcia as Ibar strikes out.
Oh, did he foul it?
Yeah, fouled it.
How about that? That's fighting it off. This is split finger from Freddie Garcia. He throws the bat at it. He's able to get a little foul ball out of it. Keep the bat alive.
Again, the 0-2. Fouled away.
Well, you mentioned about Jesus Montero, Michael. His first day here, Kim Jones had talked to him about it. You get a side day. He knows eventually he was going to get an opportunity to catch. And his side day was Freddie Garcia's side. So he actually put on his gear, went down, and caught Freddie Garcia in the side day between the starts. Of course, there's a familiarity with Freddie Garcia during spring training. Jesus Montero had some catching duties.
Now, we told you that Garcia calls his own game. But you might see Garcia, he's not wiping at all with his glove, but what he does, he'll shake to the pitch that he wants to throw. So Montero will throw down what he wants, and then Garcia will shake, but he's calling his own game. The 1-2. Grounded right side, through for a base hit. Now we might get a look at Montero throwing. The Angels could test him right away.
Well, they have speed. There's no doubt about it. What the Angels have done is just to manufacture small ball kind of offense. Sosha, not something that it's ideal, but he certainly take advantage of some very athletic guys in this lineup.
Here's Howie Kendrick. And there's a strike. Larry Vanover, the home plate umpire. Montero checking toward the Yankee dugout where he's getting instruction from Tony Pena, the bench coach.
Eric Ibar, part of the running offense of this Angel team, 27 stolen bases.
Now, because of the injury to Russell Martin, the other highly touted Yankee catching prospect, Austin Romine, is on his way to the West Coast. Bunted, and bunted foul. Montero let it roll. Romine obviously is not here at the start of this game. He was packing things up in Trenton, and that's where he was with the Double-A team. Probably joined the Yankees in Seattle. Russell Martin might not miss that much time, maybe a couple of games. And they really don't want to put Posada behind there again, although Posada came out of yesterday's game okay. Doesn't feel too stiff. Actually feels pretty good, and he did a good job yesterday.
Yes, he did. Austin Romine, a young catcher in the Yankee system, very good catch and throw guy.
Pitch high. Yankee system loaded with catchers. Montero, Romine, Gary Sanchez, some say might be the best of all on the lower level of the system. Francisco Cervelli's certainly done a good job as well for the Yankees this year, so they're not hurting for catching. Snap throw to first, and Ibar dives back.
Tony Pena relaying the signs to Jesus Montero.
Runner goes. Fouled away.
See, right on that shot there, that's a veteran move on Freddie Garcia's part. You know Eric Ibar is going to give it a shot here and see if he can steal a bag. 27 stolen bases, he's caught only 4 times. The best thing a pitcher can do if he doesn't have a great move is to hold the baseball, as he did there. Pretty good jump by Ibar. 2 strikes with Kendrick he has to protect. That ball looked like it would be a strike.
Driven out deep to right field. No one's going to get that one. It is gone. A home run. A 2-run shot for Kendrick just over the high wall. And an inauspicious beginning for the Yankees as the Angels take a 2-0 lead.
Well, he got it. Fastball down the middle. Howie Kendrick has been their most consistent hitter all year long. This is his 16th home run. Gets that foot down, driving that ball to right center field. Just getting high enough. There's a high wall here in Anaheim. Wow, like just hit on the corner there.
So hit the corner of the wall and then bounced into the stands. Abreu fouls it away. Did you think that the fan reached over? Yeah. It looked as if it would have bounced back onto the field.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. If it hit the corner, it probably ricocheted at least straight up. Maybe even back toward the field. I'd like to see that again. Obviously, the Yankees didn't complain about it. Andrew Jones, right fielder, didn't say that.
Well, the fan misses the ball, but it hits the top of the wall. Now is the carom still over the field when he reaches out and grabs it?
Wow. Surprised. Let's now, all right, he misses it the first time, but if it hits on the corner, does the fan who, see now, is he reaching, he's reaching over the wall.
Foul back. Now pitchers, they can't be obsessed with this. I sometimes doubt when they say they don't think about it at all. But you give up 2 runs in the first inning and your team has not been scoring, you know you've got to stop it right here. Abreu pops it up. Jeter shading his eyes from the sun. One away.
Tough sun here on the left side of the diamond. The sun setting behind home plate. Jeter did a nice job blocking the sun out. I know what you're saying, Michael, but I would be more concerned if I'm Freddie Garcia based on my last start. When 2 2/3 he gave up 7 earned runs and 9 hits, didn't get out of the 3rd inning. And you can't think about it. There's no doubt about it. If you start thinking about anything other than right here making a good pitch to Torrey Hunter, you're not doing your job.
There's a strike. Way outside.
Now what you do, unlike he wasn't able to do to Howie Kendrick, get a count where he had to throw a strike and left the fastball out over the plate, you are aware of the fact that your offense is struggling, you're facing a good pitcher, and you realize that every pitch does matter because it could be a loss as opposed to just 2 runs.
Driven out into right center. On the run is Granderson for the second out. Now let's take a look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. In the outfield, Gardner, Granderson, and Jones left to right. Infield, Chavez, Jeter, Nunez, and Teixeira third to first. Jesus Montero was making his first major league start at catcher. And then you got Freddie Garcia on the mound. So 2 down, that's going to bring up Mark Trumbo. And a strike.
What a year. Probably the rookie of the year, Mark Trumbo, local Orange County kid, growing up in the area, big Angels fan. Leads the team in RBIs and home runs.
Count 0-2. Swing and a miss, so Garcia bounces back, but not before the Angels score 2 runs on 2 hits. The big blow off the bat of Howie Kendrick, his 16th homer of the year. It just got in, but counts nonetheless.
Hey, Wendy, me and the boys like our chicken with big flavor.
Well, let's answer that call with a truckload of flavor-dipped chicken for the Branch Street Firehouse.
That's a great sandwich. Got some zing to it, huh?
We only use tender, whole-breast fillets. Then we hand-dip them in tangy barbecue sauce or Bull Buffalo. That's our flavor-dipped chicken.
Jim, you're making a mess, man.
Oh, thanks, John.
Try one today, because like these guys, you know when it's real.
Firefighter tested, firefighter approved. I agree.
This model won't tell you her year, but you can see her color is red. If you're looking for any model Infiniti from any year in any color, then you have to go to preownedinfiniti.tv. There you'll find an incredible selection, and you'll be able to find the model, year, and color you're looking for. Plus, every pre-owned Infiniti comes with a You Gotta Love It 48-hour exchange policy. So don't go the .com en route. Find the pre-owned Infiniti you're searching for at preownedinfiniti.tv. By the way, the model, she's beautiful, like our prices.
When I was a young pup, I learned how to sniff out the pick of the pre-owned Lexus litter and how to be a woman or man's best friend when it came to finding the lowest prices. Now that I'm older, I look back on my pedigree and feel pride in the thousands of people who've lapped up the savings I've pointed them to. Like a dog with a bone, I won't stop until you find the model, year, and color you'll love or exchange it within 48 hours with our worry-free exchange policy. Don't get me wrong, working like a dog to hunt down the perfect pre-owned Lexus for you wasn't all hard work.
It was surreal, is I think the best way to put it. You know, we were in New York when it happened, and I think no one really knew what was going on. And you know, we had a chance to visit Ground Zero and visit with a lot of the families and firefighters, and it was an experience that, as much as you want to forget it, you'll never forget it.
Boy, is that well said. You want to get it out of your mind, and you just can't. And maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should always remember, and I think we all will. All of us that were alive on that day, we'll never forget. And that says it so well. I talked to Rudy Giuliani, who was the mayor of New York City at that time, and he said there's not a day that goes by that he doesn't think about the horrors that he witnessed when he was down at Ground Zero. Every day. And he said, and he talks about it every day so it doesn't haunt him in his sleep. It was that ugly and that nightmarish. And it changed the way we live. It really does.
I think what Derek said, you're right. I mean, it's something that you'd like to forget, and you can't. And I think it is part of every American.
Cano with a single to start off the second inning.
To reflect and realize how fortunate we are to live where we do and know the measures that have been put in place to hopefully never ever have to experience that again.
And the flags are flying at half-staff today in memory of those that lost their lives on September 11, 2001. So Cano 2 for 22 before that at bat. Singles to left to start the second. Here's Montero. Grounded softly but foul toward third. It's strange about Montero. When he came up, it was a couple of weeks ago, it seemed like it was a luxury. Well, let's see what this kid could do. Maybe he could fight his way onto the postseason roster if he really lights it up. Well, now, Al, he's no longer a luxury. He becomes a necessity and a big part of this line. He's the Yankee catcher right now.
Batting fifth behind Cano with the injuries, no doubt about it. Now he's catching.
A couple of games ago, he was batting ninth. The 0-1. There's a strike, 0-2.
But Brian Cashman, the minor league personnel, everybody involved, and Joe, and they know what he's capable of doing. And then, as you say, if given an opportunity as a young player, you find your spots to see what he could do. And he's taken advantage of it. Obviously, with the 3 home runs, a .348 batting average, deserving of staying in the lineup.
Swing and a miss. That ball gets away from Wilson as Cano will advance to second. So Montero down on strikes, and the wild pitch puts a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, this looks like a little curveball that's darting away. It makes Santana very difficult to hit, and especially of late, in the last 14 starts. I told you about his no-hitter against the Indians. You see Montero not being able to hold up, is that he's got a late electric moving fastball with very good slider. I mean, that combination at times is lethal.
Here's Eric Chavez, and there's a strike from Santana. Chavez 5 hits in his last 19 at-bats, a respectable .276. Count 1-1.
Chavez, all the years with Oakland, there's a considerable history. 28 at-bats against Santana, .321 batting average, no home runs.
Ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Here comes Cano. There'll be no throw. It's an RBI single for Chavez, and the Yankees are on the board. Angels lead 2-1.
Chavez going right back up the middle, right past Santana. Hot smash. Fastball up in the zone enough. Getting it up the middle. Robbie Thompson waving home Cano. No play here. Borges putting it in his pocket. First run on the board. Push the runs early.
Yankees have scored 1 run in their previous 26 innings, and that was the home run by Montero. So a big hit for Eric Chavez. And there's a strike to Andrew Jones. Foul back, 0-2. Nick Swisher still out with the tendonitis in the elbow, and that's why Andrew again starting against a righty. Yesterday, they actually started Eduardo Nunez for the first time ever in right field. Swing and a miss, and that's why Andrew doesn't start against righties, because when they drop breaking balls like that, he has a lot of trouble with it.
Can't lay off of it, Michael. He's got a little history. He's only got 2 hits against Santana. Both of them were home runs. The ball just drops out. Watch it. Looks like about thigh high. Ends up being in the dirt. Nice job for Mathis keeping Chavez at first there. I said Mathis. Bobby Wilson's behind the plate.
So 2 down. That's going to bring up Nunez. Eduardo, one of the Yankees struggling, 3 hits in his last 32 at-bats. Breaking ball strike. Grounded to third. Aspo goes the short way, and that'll do it. But the Yankees get on the board. 1 run on 2 hits, a runner left. We go to the bottom of the second.
The New York Yankees are great moments.
Swung on and line to left field. Down the line, it is gone. It's a walk-off by Mark Teixeira.
Fans, come on to Yankee Stadium on Sunday, September 25th for an exclusive Yankee Stadium giveaway as the Yankees recognize Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. The first 10,000 guests 14 and younger will receive a limited edition Yankee Stadium exclusive tie beanie buddy named Hope, courtesy of DKNY.
Meet the Mazda 3 4-door, 5-door, and the one and only Mazda Speed 3. No other car in its class looks like it, feels like it, or most importantly, drives like it. This is a car worth driving. And that's the only kind of car we build. We build Mazdas. What do you drive?
I'm talking about plastic. No business cards, no room keys. Ray, you know the deal. Wall Street, come on.
What are you guys doing?
Playing credit card roulette.
If your card gets picked, you buy lunch.
Ooh, that's chancy. Where are you going?
McDonald's.
I'm in.
Everybody wins with tender chicken snack wraps for just $1.59 or a juicy McChicken sandwich on the dollar menu every day. It's the simple joy of winning.
I love winning.
Well, it's time for the Toyota Text Ball. Let's take a look at today's question. Which of the Angels' front 3 pitchers would you least like to face in a must-win game? You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. Is it Danny Herron, Urban Santana, or Jared Weaver? Who is it, Al?
I'm going to say, I like what Danny Herron did last night, but I'm going to say Jared Weaver.
I'd say if the game was here, it'd be Weaver. If the game was on the road, it would be Herron.
Actually, all their starts. One would argue that 3 that we just showed is best 3 rotation-wise in the American League.
Well, how about Tampa Bay?
Yeah, I like
Tampa Bay's 1 through 5 better.
1 through 5 is better. They have obviously the electric stuff of David Price, and what Shields has done has been.
Tap slowly to third. Garcia throws the ball away, but backing up nicely is Nunez. So Aspo with an infield single. Boy, they get a lot of those.
Boy, did they ever. We saw a few of those. A little split finger, nice shot right there. You can see the grip. I mean, this is the kind of. Now, they blew it open last night. They ended up getting a home run, and then we saw the home run earlier with Kendrick. But this is the kind of stuff that they play. Little numbers. Now, this is a nice play right here. Nunez backing up. There's no doubt about it. I think this ball ricochets and goes down the right field line. Off the line enough. Good play by Nunez to back it up, keeping Aspo first.
There's Peter Borges. Pitches high, 1-0.
Good speed, Peter Borges, along with the young man on deck, Mike Trout. Aspo Eric Ibar, steel bags.
Swing and a miss. So the Yankees score in the second inning. They had not scored a run in their last 16 innings. And that matches the streak they had last year. 16 straight innings in September against the Rangers and the Rays. Strike. Now you see Garcia on the mound right now as Dino Abel going through the signs. The Yankees rotation for the Mariners series is going to be Hughes, Burnett, and Nova. And Joe Girardi has said he's going to stay with a 6-man rotation through next Wednesday. Hammered foul. That's September 21st, and it's a doubleheader. And maybe for the rest of the season. So we keep waiting for it to go from 6 to 5, and it simply might not happen.
Well, and his explanation, listening to the pregame with Kimberly Jones asking the questions, is that you have the extra, because of the doubleheader, if you skip a guy, you don't want a starter to potentially come in 2 weeks later and have to make an emergency start, so to speak, if he's not getting any kind of significant work out of the pen. We'll see after that doubleheader as to whether he goes to 5-man after that.
Popped up. Shallow center. Granderson. And there's one away. All right, let's check out these scores. Tampa Bay now leads 8-1 when B.J. Upton hits a grand slam in the bottom of the 5th. So Tampa Bay looking to sweep that series against the Red Sox, Oakland, and Texas, bottom of the 4th. That's scoreless right now. These are scores we're going to keep an eye on because everybody's in play. Think about it. Even the Yankees are in play here if they continue to lose. Because Tampa Bay's making a run. They still have 4 games left with the Red Sox after today and 7 against the Yankees. There's Trout. There's a strike.
And as you said earlier, this isn't against one of the fill-in minor league guys or not the front-end starter. That's John Lester. He's got 15 wins. Getting pounded right now.
I was reading the Boston Globe today that now Beckett is being fitted with some kind of ankle brace to promote stability in the ankle, and they're hoping that he could pitch next weekend against Tampa Bay. They're hoping their #1 pitcher is going to pitch. So that rotation is in absolute disarray right now. Lackey has the highest run average of any Red Sox pitcher in history at this time of the year. That's a starter. Amazing. Bedard's knee is bothering him. Wakefield can't pick up a win. Andrew Miller hasn't pitched well. They really, really are struggling. And this is a situation that we didn't think we were going to have a week ago. We didn't think there'd be a race. Well, there's a race. The Yankees remain 3 games ahead in the loss column. The West, it's just 1 game separating the Rangers and the Angels. And the wild card after today, unless the Red Sox rally, it's going to be 3 games in the loss column. And Red Sox fans tend to get a wee bit pessimistic. So you can imagine what they're feeling in Boston right now as they're on the verge of getting swept by the Rays.
And I know it's the NL Central, but the Cardinals just made up 4 games. They're 6 back now of Milwaukee. Milwaukee lost 5 in a row. Cardinals won 4. That's why, you know, and sometimes I think when you watch the sport, you listen to managers say, well, we're not counting it. You betcha you're not counting anything. You hear the managers say, look, we're not in the playoffs. You start fantasizing, thinking about matchups and who you want to play, who you don't want to play.
Swing and a miss. Trout down on strikes. Hey, Al, all you have to do if you're a Yankee fan is look across the river. The Mets pull a 7-game lead with 17 left to play, so it can happen.
Well, then go back to 78. I mean, there's other examples. You're right. I mean, what the Mets, that fall apart scenario ended up right to the last day of the season.
The thing that jumps out about that Met collapse, though, there were so few games left. And, you know, you'd sit there and you'd do the math. Well, there's no way they'd blow a 7-game lead with 17 left. It's almost impossible. Well, it is possible to happen. Bobby Wilson takes outside, 1-0. So it gets fun now, though. I mean, it's not fun if your team is the one that's losing the lead, but it makes it very, very interesting down the stretch. Now, if you're a Yankee fan, you're playing the what-if game. Well, what if we didn't go into this 4-game losing streak? They pretty much clinched the East then, while the Red Sox were losing. But that is not the case. A 1-0. 1-1.
And the dangerous team to me is Tampa Bay. I still think it's a terrific story in baseball. They decimated their bullpen, got rid of their number 2 starter. Crawford was gone. Pena's gone. Their shortstop's gone. And look where they are. You got youth and confidence. That's a dangerous combination. A young team, oh, by the way, with a 1 through 5 starting rotation as good as could rival the Giants in Philadelphia.
Runner goes. Throw to second. Oh, it's a beauty. Got him. Montero threw a P to second base, and Nunez applied the tag on Kai Aspo. So they test the 21-year-old rookie, and he comes up throwing. Not an easy pitch to throw on, and he threw a beautiful throw to Eduardo Nunez, who applied the tag on Kai Aspo. We go to the 3rd.
Mariano is closing in on becoming the all-time saves leader, and every game is another chance to make history. Tomorrow, the Bombers open their series against the Mariners, and with a record in his sights, Mo looks to close it down and secure another victory for the Yankees. Yankees, Mariners. Complete coverage starts tomorrow at 9:30, only on Yes.
J&R, New York's largest and top-rated technology superstore for cameras, computers, audio products, movies, music, housewares, TVs, video games, and more, is now proud to be the official consumer electronics retailer of the New York Yankees.
On your wedding day, when everyone is looking at her, she'll be looking at you. So rent your tuxedo at Men's Warehouse, and you'll look almost as good as she does. You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Oven Gold Turkey is a magnet for sandwich thieves.
Aha! Not today, Jeff. Every day, you switch my boar's head Oven Gold with your cheap turkey made of ground-up pieces and fat and seaweed extract. Seaweed, Jeffrey. Well, not today. Today, I win.
Boar's Head Oven Gold Turkey. Compromise elsewhere.
The ultimate triple play from Optimum gives you great TV, and now you can take it to every corner of your home. Watch live TV on your iPad, and now on your iPhone and iPod Touch with the Optimum app. Get Optimum Online Boost Plus with internet 3 times faster than Fios. A free advanced wireless router, and great features like Optimum Link. Just call 866-333-7162. Get the best TV, internet, and phone. Just $99.80 a month with the ultimate triple play from Optimum.
Well, Montero has to feel good. His first try at throwing out a base run. Al, that's not an easy pitch.
No, it's not. Look, a slider down the dirt. Nice quick tag by Nunez. Good throw. Good strong transfer. So far.
Passing every test, huh?
Yes.
21 years old. Here's Brett Gardner. And there's a strike. Brett, one of the real struggling Yankees. 1 hit in his last 18 at-bats. And Santana deals. 1-1 on the Lincoln scoreboard. 2-1 Angels lead.
You know, you mentioned about the struggles of Gardner, and I still think he's a guy that he's got so many hits to the left side of the infield, but he's actually his best swing. He's a pull hitter. And I think where he gets caught in between is trying to stay on the ball, go to left field, but yet his natural stroke is right center approach. And that's something Kevin Long works with him. You don't want to take a guy out of his element and become something that he's not comfortable with.
And there's a walk to Gardner. September 11, 2001 was a day New Yorkers will never forget, at a time when our city showed its strength and resilience. Tonight, the Yes Network examines the role New York sports played in the city's recovery, featuring interviews with Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, and our very own Paul O'Neill. 9/11 Remembered tonight after the postgame right here on Yes. And following the 9/11 special, an all-new WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show. And Joe spends a lot of time talking about Jesus Montero. It's all coming up later today on Yes. Here's Derek Jeter.
Santana watching closely, 43 stolen bases. He leads the American League, Brett Gardner. Early in the count, if you're hitting behind a guy who can steal, you don't want to wait too long and put Derek in a bad count. Jump early.
Foul off.
Often the number 2 hole hitter. Relationship between the leadoff batter. Obviously, this is a 9-1 scenario, but you got a guy with the speed of Gardner. Get a shot for him to run, get in scoring position. The ratio is good. Bobby Wilson behind home plate, 25% of runners thrown out. Brett Gardner's not your normal runner.
You know, you've always told me this, Al, and it seems like pitchers are putting into practice a lot more. Real savvy pitchers on the mound, they hold the ball longer and longer and longer. And I guess like a hitter who has to stand in the box that long, a guy taking the lead at first base, they just become very antsy, and I guess it throws off their rhythm.
Yeah, think of the position he's in. Bent, watching, obviously making sure that he's going home. There's a tension to that position right there. And that runners want to be comfortable. Obviously, if there's like an uneasiness, and how you disrupt that as a pitcher is to vary the times. You just say, Michael, we're seeing Santana. Freddie Garcia's done it.
Runner goes. Throw to second. Got him. Good throw by Bobby Wilson and a good tag by Kendrick.
Now that was a quick pitch. As we were saying, he's holding the ball. He immediately came set, quick, leg kick, strong throw from Bobby Wilson. Good tag from Kendrick. Now watch here, fastball in. Good transfer, right on the money. A little bit short of the bag, tag.
Wow, just got him. You know, you're right, Al. He held and held, but every other time, that time he went right to home plate. Maybe you threw him off. That one is looped to Kendrick to retire Jeter.
Talking about the holding long. Now he comes set right to the belt. Boom. Looking in.
And 2 pitches before that, he probably held for 10 seconds. When we take a look at the GE Capital Partner Play, great partnerships are built on trust. At GE Capital, we prove that every day.
Well, all the way around. Santana to Bobby Wilson, then Howie Kendrick. Good snap throw all the way around. Wilson behind the plate for Santana.
Well, with Granderson making it out in the first and Jones making out in the second, the Yankee outfielders are 0 for their last 26, which is the longest hitless streak for the Yankee outfielders in 20 years. And that's going to get a little bit longer. as Granderson grounds out, and the Yankees are down in the third. No runs, no hits. Because of the caught stealing, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the third.
If I drive for you, you get your money. I don't sit in while you're running it down. I don't carry a gun. I drive.
2,000 heists in this city.
Whose money do I have?
This driver's got to go.
Drive, rated R, starts Friday.
The New York Yankees are legendary.
That one's drilled deep to left field. See ya! 3,000! History with an exclamation point!
Yankee fans, 2012 season tickets are on sale now. Purchase the best available seats for the 2012 regular season and secure the opportunity to purchase the same seats for the 2011 postseason. Come join us for the chase for 28. For more information, visit Yankees.com or call 212-YANKEES.
Every luxury car claims to be somehow greater than the sum of its parts. But how about one that's smarter?
The Lincoln MKZ, named most dependable car in its class 2 years running by J.D. Power & Associates. Now, take advantage of exceptional offers on the MKZ.
It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that.
I remember when we got back from 9/11, we went to Chicago, and there was a big sign in right field that said, you know, Chicago loves New York. I will never forget that. The way we were treated on the road, it was special. I mean, and then the fans, you know, we had after that, every park was full. The excitement, especially in New York, the excitement about watching a baseball game, you know, it was tough times.
Tough times indeed. 10 years ago today, as Bobby Wilson, who was up at the plate when Kai Aspo got thrown out stealing, leads off the third inning with a fresh count, takes a strike. When baseball returned, the Yankees did go to Chicago to meet the White Sox, and the Mets were home. And that was the famous Mike Piazza home run. Alan, you were there.
Yeah, you know, just listening to Jorge and Derek Jeter and everybody who was playing baseball at that time around the sport. What a night. The healing process begun at that point. And I think, you know, when I think of that game, I think about Bobby Cox saying, you know, we were a legitimate rival at the time. The Mets started becoming a better team in the East. We always had to beat the Braves to get through the National League. And he said, if there's ever a night that I'm okay with the Mets winning, especially here in New York, I'm okay with this. I mean, almost, you know, not that he conceded the game, but the way it all played out. You know, the Mets star Piazza hits a home run off a local kid, Steve Carsey, who had spent some time with the Yankees from Queens.
Pitch outside. What was that park like that night? Was it exciting or was it sad?
Both. And then as the night went along with the chanting of USA, and it became kind of the roar around baseball, the uncertainty. I remember, you know, NYPD and everybody coming in assuring us that, you know, everything was okay and all the measures that were put in place.
Slow roll in the third. It's going to be a base hit for Wilson. Boy, we've seen a lot of that in this three-game set. But you were talking about the Piazza home run, Al. Why don't we take a look? And I'm sure that you could narrate this. You lived through it.
Yeah, you know, it was just sad. I mean, I remember many of us just tearing up, and Diana Ross singing the anthem, and Liza Minnelli coming out and singing "God Bless America," and unbelievably just scared, nervous, upset, mad. And this moment here, Bobby Valentine, Bobby Cox, and hugging, and Chipper Jones, and you know, this was a legitimate rival at that time. I think it was more of a relief, especially at the end of the game. Playoff field.
Here's Ibar, and he bunts, third base side. Chavez fields, not in time.
little swing and bunt, little number, and now Ibar. This is typical of Mike Scioscia and what this team does. They push runs, figure out way to manufacture. This is a fantastic bunt. You look where Chavez is. You know he's bunted. It's a late turn, but this is an absolute deadened bunt, perfect with the speed of Ibar. Couldn't do anything about it. If you watch, we had a great angle there with Chavez coming in, aware of the bunt. Just the exceptional speed of Ibar, base hit.
That's a 13th bunt hit for Ibar, 39th bunt hit for the Angels.
And Borges did the same. I know first night he's got 14.
Pitch to Kendrick is high. Kendrick with a 2-run home run in the first inning.
We'll see how Freddie Garcia responds, Michael. These are frustrating hits. And you're battling, trying to get outs, making pitches, swing and bunt, and then a legitimate bunt single.
Fouled away. Want to take a look at that Piazza home run, and Al, take it away.
Yeah, well, Stevie Carce on the mound, and that's a straightaway center, and I can tell you the relief of everybody. I mean, it was a baseball game, Michael, but it's more than that. It really was. The excitement, and when I say playoff atmosphere, the place was packed and constantly during the night chanting of USA.
Another bunt. This one right back to Garcia. So the sacrifice by Kendrick, you score it 1-3. They don't have home run hitters on this team. This is how they generate runs.
You know, and that's really curious there. Howie Kendrick, one of their best hitters, batted 290 most of the season. He already has a home run. He's got 16 home runs on the year. And his number 2 hitter bunting for Bobby Abreu now, keeping himself out of a double play situation. But it's one of those where you know you have a good pitcher on the mound, the Angels do. The Yankees struggle at hitting if they can push a run, whether it's a sacrifice fly here or a ground ball to the right side with an out. It forces the opposing team. And that's Mike Scioscia. National League player his whole year, has done a nice job as Angels manager for many years.
The Yankees are going to play the infield back, except at first and third, so they're playing shortstop and second back. Abreu at the plate. Got a catcher on third. Pitch outside. Angels have 8 infield hits in this series. They use their legs. That's what they have to do. I don't think that Mike Scioscia has had a meeting with his people and said, you know, let's win this way. This is the only way we can win. Vernon Wells isn't hitting. Abreu's not hitting. Torrey Hunter's really not hitting. We don't have Kendrys Morales. We've got to generate runs.
Yeah, their best hitters, well, with production from RBI and home runs, Mark Trumbo, the rookie, and you mentioned it as we just rattled off the names. Vernon Wells isn't even in there today. Putting in Mike Trout.
Count 2-1.
See if Freddie's going to be pitching along the line. Bobby Abreu still, I know he's a little older. Bat speed slows down when you become an older hitter. Certainly a professional hitter in the sense of ball up in the air. He can drive the ball. Let's see if he pitches him backwards because of the 2-1 count. He's got to start with Torrey Hunter, the next batter. See that right there. He's got a 2-1 count. Respect to Bobby Abreu. Throws him a split finger. Gets back into it with 2-2. Freddie Garcia is the reason why he's done so well over the years, especially against the Angels. 15-3 lifetimes. See that split finger. Bobby Abreu out in front. Now he's got a shot. Infield pop-up strikeout. Watch for that split finger again down in the dirt. If you're Freddie Garcia, you can't worry about Jesus Montero, whether he blocks it or not. This split finger down the zone, tough pitch.
2-2. And he couldn't block it. And that's going to allow a run to score. So Wilson scores to make it 3-1. Ibar moves to third. And now that was a worry of yours with the kid behind the plate. He couldn't block the pitch.
You know, and unfortunately for Freddie Garcia, but you can't think that way as a pitcher. You have an opportunity to have a strikeout here. This is a strikeout pitch. You see the split finger. Excellent shot right there. He's thinking down in the zone. That's right through the 5-hole there. Montero's got to do a better job than that. Get his body down and glove and just right through the wickets. Fortunately for the Yankees, Montero wasn't able to stop it.
So now the infield is in. 3-2 count, runner on third. That splitter is swung on and missed, and that one Montero handles for the second out.
Well, same pitch. He took it the previous at bat. I think Freddie Garcia took a little bit more off. Look at how much this breaks. This is a tough pitch to lay off. Looks like, you know, you watch him at home saying, boy, why did he swing at that 3-2? That ball dropped about 1.5 feet, 2 feet. Nice job that time by Montero to keep that ball in front of him and catching the baseball. Could have been another run.
Here's Torrey Hunter. Flied out to center in the first. So 3-1 Angels here in the third.
Two infield bunt, swing and bunt, legitimate bunt, sacrifice, wild pitch.
Swing and a miss. And the 1-1. Rounded to third. Nice hop there for Chavez. He gets Hunter, and that will do it. But the run scores on the wild pitch, and small ball gets it done for the Angels. Infield single, bunt hit, sac bunt. Yeah, they did it all, and they squeezed a run out at the last moment to give themselves a 3-1 lead.
Don't assume it was left by accident. If you see something, say something.
Right now, Manhattan Ford is the best place to be with the top 3. The 3 Ford models you want most at prices you'll love best. 1. 2012 Ford Fusion SE for just $139 per month. 2. 2012 Ford Escape XLT for only $137 per month. Or 3. The 2011 Ford Edge SE for just $189 per month. That's 3 great reasons why Manhattan Ford is the best place to be. Online at manhattanford.com and conveniently located at 11th Avenue and 54th Street in the Manhattan Automobile Company.
Construction work is dangerous. Every day, workers are injured in accidents due to unsafe conditions.
Francisco supported his family by working in construction until one day he was injured in a construction accident. He needed a lawyer that could take care of his problems.
He called Jacob Oreski and Associates, the lawyers who fight for the rights of injured workers with proven results.
And they won my case. If you've been injured in a construction accident, call me.
Jacob Oreski and Associates, 718-993-9999. We'll even come to you.
People have been using wind power for sailboats since the beginning of time. Wind can be converted to electricity with windmills, and it's clean and renewable. There are people and companies working to make wind power available to everyone. All we have to do is get behind them. Can one solution to energy woes be blowing in the wind? The possibilities are endless.
2012 season tickets are on sale right now. Purchase the best available seats for the 12 regular season and secure the opportunity to purchase the same seats for the 2011 postseason. Come join us for the chase for 28. For more information, visit Yankees.com or call 212-YANKEES. Mark Teixeira swings and misses. As we go to the fourth inning, 3-1 Angels. Angels have the shift on for Teixeira with 3 infielders on the right side. Count 1-1. Swing and a miss.
Little anxious Mark Teixeira as that ball out of his hand looked like it was going to be a ball. You get guys that are starting to grind it and seeing every pitch that you have to swing at.
Strike three. Teixeira down looking.
You look at his previous at bat, and it was curious. He ended up striking out on a 3-2 slider. He didn't swing and pull the trigger on a 3-1 fastball. Swings at a curveball down and in, and then gets locked up on the fastball away. Just absolutely caught in between. Swung at the breaking ball, and that pitch is right there. You see a guy as good as Mark Teixeira, not sure of the strike zone and being able to pull the trigger, especially on a fastball.
Cano with a deep fly ball to right. Going back Hunter on the track. He'll turn and look. See ya! Home run, Robinson Cano. And the Yankees have pulled to within one. 3-2 Angels.
How strong Robinson Cano. Torrey Hunter, the right fielder, deeped everybody. It looked like he was camping to catch that ball just far enough. Look out in front here. See this, a backdoor breaking ball. That's why I think it looked like maybe it was going to stay in play. Was able to keep his hands back enough. Good swing. Watch this, just going over the wall. Torrey Hunter thinking that would have stayed in. Almost close, a little bit down the line from where Harry Kendrick it is.
Count 0-1 on Montero, who struck out in the second. Fouls that one back. Let's go Yankees chant here at a ballpark. Many people clad in red, so vast majority Angel fans, but the Yankees, the vocal minority. The 1-2. They got him on a breaking ball again. Let's take a look at the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. Jorge Posada has now caught at least one game with the same team in 17 straight seasons. Who was the last major leaguer to accomplish this feat? Eric Chavez clubs one to center field. Borges back, still back, and he can't make the play. It'll go up against the wall. And Chavez on second with a double. Well, Mike Scioscia has been trumpeting Peter Borges as a surefire Gold Glover. That one was not that pretty of a play.
No, but he gets to it, Michael, and I thought once he tracked it, now the sun may have affected it, but off the end of the glove, this ends up being a double. This is a tough play. Peter Borges has made some fantastic plays in center field for the Angels, displacing Torrey Hunter to right field because of his play. Probably could have had that ball, the fact that he was able to get to it.
Yankees have 4 hits, 2 by Cano and 2 by Chavez. Here's Andrew Jones. Count 1-0. One.
Andrew Jones getting a big dose of sliders from Santana. 3 sliders in his first at bat with a strikeout. Now her 2 in a row. Look at that slider go to right center.
Count 1-2.
He's not picking it up. All right. You're going to go to the well. Once you show as a hitter that you're having a tough time either seeing it or swinging at it, making contact, the pitcher's going to exploit that weakness until you show you can hit it. So this may be a high fastball. That's textbook right there. Waste a high fastball, take it, come back with that slider down the way.
Foul back.
That's the pitch right there. When you're Struggling the way Andrew has against right-handers, and then you get a pitch like this. Yeah, he's throwing slider, slider, slider. This is a mistake by Santana because that ball is right down the middle, and you pull off it. That's why I said, boy, I wish I could get it back.
I don't understand why you try to sneak a fastball past Andrew Jones. I mean, why would you ever throw that pitch to him? Well, make him beat you on a breaking ball before you'd ever go to a fastball.
Especially what he has shown so far with the strikeout of the sliders, looking bad on it. That's a mistake.
The 2-2 laid off that breaking ball in the count 3-2.
Plus what it does, Michael, it empowers Andrew to feel better about his approach, even though he's probably looking slider. He should. So just slider away. Yep.
Just missed with that pitch.
Good at bat, but I believe Santana, that one fastball chase upstairs didn't make it, and then that fastball straight back. Good at bat from Andrew. You know, we can see this with Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, coming out in different times. Granted, 3-2 ball game. He wants to make sure Santana's on the right page.
This chiropractic telecast, presented by authority of the New York Yankees, it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. So the meeting is over, and now Eduardo Nunez comes up with runners on first and second with 2 outs. Yankees down 3-2 in the top of the 4th. You see all the uniforms have American flags just below the neckline on the back of the uniform. On this 10-year anniversary of September 11th. Also on the side of each hat is an American flag as well. One, 2-1. Yankees trying to make something happen. Big hit here by Nunez would go a long way toward lifting their spirits offensively. Count 3-1.
Oh, he's going to get a good pitch here. Santana overthrowing. Getting a bad count to a very good fastball hitter. Nunez, even though he's struggling, he can turn on most fastballs.
The 3-1 pitch. Fastball is high. That's going to load the bases for Brett Gardner. So the Yankees showing a flicker of life here offensively. On third base, Chavez. Second base, Jones. First base, Nunez. And at the plate, Brett Gardner. Gardner walked in the third inning and was caught stealing. He has 1 hit in his last 18 at-bats. So if you believe in due, he's due.
But overdue. Big moment right here. Certainly Brett Gardner, be patient here. You got a guy overthrowing, missing his spots.
Count 1-0. Now Wilson wants to go out and talk with Santana.
Yeah, I'm seeing that Bobby Wilson sees it as well. When you get a guy who's overthrowing, Santana really, when he's on, and he's been on his last 14 starts, is that yes, he's got a nice fastball, but he's a guy that has been able to control it, have much more consistency with release points. Because of that, he's become very unpredictable. Great slider, good curveball. This right here, you Brett Gardner, you keyhole a little spot that you really like, you get it there, let it fly.
Lined into center field. Borges is there, so Gardner hit it hard, but right at the center field of Borges. But the Yankees get a run back on the Cano home run. 2 hits, 3 men left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Yanks down 1.
Killing will not bring you peace. Peace was never an option.
X-Men First Class.
Jeter? The guy's got an edge.
Derek Jeter?
That guy's got an edge.
Oh, definitely an edge.
He's got an edge. Totally.
Porque tiene un edge. Jeter, you know he's got an edge.
He so has an edge.
He's got an edge, baby.
And I got it with this cool panoramic Vista roof.
Now lease an edge with Sync and My Ford Touch for just $199 a month. Just $199.
Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it.
Only at your Tri-State Ford dealer.
We are!
Got it.
Don't be the last to know. Get it faster with 4G. It's the network of possibilities. AT&T.
Look at all this stuff for coffee.
Oh, there's tons. French presses, espresso tampers, filters. It can get really complicated. Not nearly as complicated as shipping it, though. I mean, shipping is a hassle.
Not with priority mail flat rate boxes from the Postal Service. If it fits, it ships anywhere in the country for a low flat rate.
That is easy. Best news I've heard all day. I'm so amped. I mean, not amped, excited. I mean, that's sort of amped. Really kind of in between.
Have you ever thought about decaf?
You think that'll help?
Yeah.
Priority mail flat rate shipping starts at just $4.95, only from the Postal Service. A simpler way to ship.
Let's look at the upcoming schedule, brought to you by Accel Express. Enjoy the journey. The journey goes to Seattle after this one. 3 games against the Mariners, all night games, all on yes. Then Thursday's a travel day, then on to Toronto, night game on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday afternoon. And the first pitch to Trumbo is a strike as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Yankees trailing 3-2. So they leave the bases loaded in the 4th inning. And Gordon hit the ball hard. You can't aim it.
Well, that's exactly right. And you got a pitch he could drive.
That one is tapped back to Garcia. The big guy uses all of his length to make the play for the first out. Time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. Jorge Posada has now caught at least 1 game with the same team in 17 straight seasons. A remarkable feat. Who was the last major leaguer to accomplish this feat? Quick hint, he's a Hall of Famer. And the answer is Johnny Bench. Not just a Hall of Famer, he's one of the 2 greatest catchers of all time. On the 100th anniversary baseball team, top 50 players, what they did at Fenway Park, I believe, it was Johnny Bench and Yogi Berra as the 2 catchers.
Or was that in Atlanta?
No, I believe it was at
the end of, yeah, right, 1999. That's when Ted Williams came out.
Yep. Count 1-1 to Kai Aspo.
You know, I know, Michael, you were talking about my experience when I was with the Mets in 9/11, and watching the players wear the hats in pregame with the respective NYPD and the various agencies. I could tell you that went a long way, Michael. The Mets, we ended up wearing it the rest of the way. It was only supposed to be for a week, but we had more police and fire and Port Authority cops and every EMT, all of them. We're so grateful of these hats that we wore and really felt a part of what we were doing, and something that I'll never forget, what the impression was really felt on not only people that were still out the services, but also the families that were affected by what happened at the Twin Towers.
There's Dana Cavalier.
That's what they were wearing during pregame.
He's the Yankee strength and conditioning coach, and he's got it on. Pitch outside. You know, the Yankee run to that World Series, I think, captured the hearts of a country. As the Yankees have never been a team that people outside of their fan base root for. their popularity might be that they get rooted against. But a lot of people were pulling for the Yankees then because they were representing New York. And I'll never forget Game 3 of the World Series, Al. You know, you mentioned happiness, sadness that day at Shea Stadium. That was the oddest feel for a ballpark I've ever seen. Because when the game actually began, the place wasn't full because everybody was getting wanded coming into the stadium because President Bush was there to throw out the first pitch. And there was just a very weird, silent feel to the whole occasion. But when he stood on that mound and threw that pitch and threw a strike and threw it from the rubber, the outpouring of love toward him for what he represented to the rest of the world, that you're not going to defeat us, you're not going to bring us down, that was a magical moment, I think, in the recovery and certainly in that World Series, something that will never be forgotten. That one is driven deep to left field. If it's a fair ball, it is trouble. It is gone. A two-run home run for Peter Borges. And the Angels now lead by 3.
Well, right now, this series, the Angels are showing the Yankees they can beat you in so many different ways. Great pitching, small ball, and now the home runs. So Howie Kendrick, Peter Borges, not a home run hitter, really gets you with his speed. His 11th home run on the year.
Pitch outside to Trout.
See Brett Gardner coming up on the wall. He thinks he has a shot. See how low that wall is. Far enough.
There's a strike. So Borges is 11th home run. Line drive, and nice play there by Chavez for the second out. Takes a base hit away from Trout.
Broken bat off the end of the bat. Nice see him off the line. Chavez, good play. The only way he makes that play is the positioning. All this spray chart stuff that you'll see Major League teams where they stand, it's all by rhyme or reason as to where they think the pitcher's going to throw and also where consistently the hitters have placed the ball.
Bobby Wilson takes outside 1-0. Garcia not his sharpest today. Missing spots and getting punished for it. So it's now 5-2 Angels.
Well, unlike CC, who struggled with his command, only gave up 1 run, you give up the long ball as Freddie has. That's where the big crooked numbers, you try to stay away from that. A couple 2-run homers now cost you 4 runs, and then the manufactured run. There's 5 runs for the Angels.
Grounded to short, Jeter. And a nice backhand scoop there by Teixeira for the final out. 2 runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the 5th. Angels 5, Yankees 2.
30,000 feet. The weather there is a sunny 66 degrees. We're looking good for an on-time arrival at about 5:45 local.
An airline's job is to take you from where you are to where you need to be. And we're not just talking about points on a map. It's about constantly finding new ways to make the world a smaller place and close the gap between far away and right away. Like having the most Wi-Fi equipped planes that let you venture beyond our more than 200 U.S. destinations to be everywhere at once. Like a more intuitive Delta website and mobile app that can connect you to information about your next flight, even while you're still in flight. Innovations like these are extending our reach so that you can extend yours. And now, even at 30,000 feet,
you can still touch the ground.
Good night, gluttony. A farewell long awaited. Good night, stuffy. Good night, outdated. Good night, old luxury and all of your wares. Good night, bygones everywhere. Good morning, illumination. Good morning, innovation. Good morning, unequaled inspiration.
The Audi A8, chosen by Car and Driver as the best luxury sedan in a recent comparison test.
Hi, everyone. Bob Lorenz with your Audi update. Let's check the Red Sox and Rays down at the Trop. This is B.J. Upton, bottom of the fifth, with a grand slam off reliever Matt Albers, his 20th homer of the season, first career grand slam. Plenty of pad for James Shields. Rays up 9-1. Got 3 outs to get the Red Sox out, and if they win it, they'll be 3.5 back in the wild card, guys.
Just an amazing run, Bob. An absolutely amazing run. We'll hear from Bob a little bit later on. Well, take the Yankees with you when you travel out of the Yankees' home territory. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see Yankees games live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Well, the Yankees are down by 3, top of the order against Santana, Jeter, Granderson, and Teixeira. Count 1-0. Jeter struck out in the first inning, then a little humpback line drive to the glove side of Howie Kendrick at second. So down to 295 now for Derek. He has a 9-game hitting streak. And now he has a 10-game hitting streak. So a base hit for Jeter to start out the fifth.
10-game hitting streak, good way to start the inning here. The Yankees got to put something together. Santana struggling with his command last inning. Able to only get 1 run, the Yankees. Nice up the middle approach. First pitch curveball, a slider. Hot smash past the shortstop Ibar. Granderson here, did a good approach. Good Jeter fan.
Granderson with a deep drive to right field. Hunter looking up. See ya! A home run for Granderson. The Yankees with 2 runs. They trail now 5-4. 39th home run of the year for Granderson as his bat finally comes alive in this series.
Well, we could talk about it as to what's he feeling, and he's struggling. This is a pitch down the middle. He's a good hitter, trying to stay confident. Tough to do when you're struggling the way he's been. A low batting average, nice approach, line drive, home run.
Teixeira takes a strike. He has struck out twice against Santana. Count 1-1. Count 1-2. 39 home runs and 111 runs batted in for Granderson. And that's a big home run right there. As Teixeira goes down for the 3rd time on strikes. Let's check out Granderson's swing, the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
He jumped on it right away, Michael. This fastball down the middle looked like a little sweet spot for Granderson down in the zone. Good extension, good finish. The Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. That was a blast too. Line drive home run.
Here's Cano. He's 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. And he scorches that one to left center. But Borges got a good jump and runs it down for the second out.
Number 63, catcher Jesus Montero.
Well, Cano, that's all you can do is hit the ball hard. You see the jump. Borges playing a deep center field. Able to easily get to that ball.
Here's Montero. There's a strike. He has struck out twice swinging on breaking balls low and away against Santana. Fights it off and fouls it off.
He's in a breaking ball count right here, Michael.
Montero with a 6-game hitting streak. Wow. Now got into the stands in a hurry. Same pitch, swung on and missed. But the Yankees creep closer. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left. Granderson with a 2-run home run, breaking an 0 for 13. And his 39th of the year, Yankees down by 1.
For all that's out there, Range Rover Sport. Attractive lease and finance offers available at your Land Rover retailer.
At GE Capital, we're out there every day with clients like JetBlue, financing their fleet, sharing our expertise, and working with people who are changing the face of business in America. After 25 years in the aviation business, I kind of feel like if you're not having fun at what you do, then you've got the wrong job. My landing was better than yours.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Was not.
Yes, it was. What do you think? Take one of the big ones out?
Nah.
Every once in a while, something comes along so powerful in concept, so revolutionary in design, it becomes a cultural icon and defines a generation. Another icon has arrived and ready to prove once again it's the simple things in life that have the biggest impact. 2012 Fiat 500. Simply more.
Miss the game again? Get the best sports in town only in the New York Post. Delivered right to your doorstep 7 days a week for less than the newsstand price. Featuring an all-star team of sports columnists, plus the hottest in entertainment and the best in business news. Score your New York Post subscription. Call now at 1-800-552-POST.
Well, the Red Sox score is final. They lose 9-1 to Tampa Bay. So let's take a look at the standings brought to you by Delta. Keep climbing. Well, the Yankees still hold, now it's a 4-game advantage in the loss column over the Red Sox. The Rays are creeping up. They're 3 games behind the Red Sox in the loss column for the wild card. Wow. 4 games between the Red Sox and the Rays starting on Thursday, and the Angels are still in the wild card as well. Everything tightening up as we come down to the last 2.5 weeks. Garcia pumps a strike into Ibar. Swing and a miss.
As it should be, right? The whole wild card, that's the excitement of it, so that you still have races. Was it about a week or 10 days ago? Baseball writers around the country talking about how there wasn't really a race other than what was going out here in the American League West. Looks like Arizona is really taking it away from San Francisco.
The 0-2. Now the Rays are actually just 6.5 in the standings and 7 in the loss column behind the Yankees. And you could dismiss that and go, well, 7, there's 17 games left. We told you about the Mets, a couple of years ago, but they have 7 games left with the Yankees. So once you get within the amount of games you have left with the team, you in essence hold your fate in your own hands. If you win out, then you tied them. You don't have to depend on anybody to do anything for you. So at least they've got that going for them. But right now I think they're looking at the Red Sox and aiming for the Sox. Sox have lost 5 in a row and 9 of their last 11.
Well, the last 3 games of the year, Michael, down in Tampa Bay. Yankees visit.
Can you imagine, Al, if the Yankees have their spot in the playoffs locked up and they stand between the Red Sox getting in or out of the playoffs with those 3 games? Little intrigue. The 1-2. Grounded up the middle, a base hit for Ibar. His third hit of the afternoon. All right, time for another look at today's Toyota text ball. Let's get the results. Which of the Angels' front three pitchers would you least like to face in a must-win game? You've been texting your vote to 58772, and here's how you voted. Overwhelmingly, you don't want to face Jared Weaver, then Danny Herron, and then Irvin Santana, and that's the way they've pitched so far. Although Herron was great yesterday, a complete game shutout. So Ibar leads off first. Here's Kendrick. Pitches low and inside.
Freddie doing all he can to keep Ibar at first base. Nobody out. See what Socha does here with his leadoff runner.
There's a strike. Getting a high call there. As Corey Wade, who was not available yesterday because been used so much, he's available today and warming. In fact, everybody in the Yankee bullpen, according to Girardi, is available today.
Unlike in the first two games of this series where he had to dance around a little bit with some of his go-to guys.
He'd like to have a lead to go to the bullpen with.
Tell you kind of the approach that the Angels have had, and they're now getting some home runs, but they have 20 hits in the series so far. 17 of those 28 hits, Michael's come with 2 strikes. 4 of them have been on 0-2 counts. Talking about a 2-strike approach club to where you shorten your string, put the ball in play. Freddie Garcia definitely laboring this afternoon. He's missed off mark, changing speeds, yes, but some bad counts, and the Angel hitters have been kind of dinging him here and there. He got a couple home runs.
Runner goes. Swung on and missed. The ball gets away from Montero. So a stolen base for Ibar.
I don't know if he'll be able to get him. A little bit anxious here. He got a good jump. It's a breaking ball down and away. Ibar with the very good speed that he has at 27, 28 stolen bases now on the year. Ball down and away. Tough pitch.
Driven out to right field, deep. Giving chase is Granderson. He's on the track at the wall. He makes the play. Tagging his Ibar, he'll go to third. So Kendrick bidding for a second home run. He sends it to the warning track for the first out.
Kind of fighting the sun here. This is a good approach right here. You got a runner at second base, right center field. See Granderson, I got. He's got it tracked. Making sure that sun doesn't affect him. Close to the wall. Now with Kendrick moving Ibar to third now.
Well, the Yankees have to bring the infield in, and you also have to put this into the equation. Garcia's best pitch in this situation is the split. Can you throw it and not worry about bouncing it past Montero? 1 run's already scored because of that. And it was with Abreu at the plate. That one is blocked by Montero.
You have to, Michael. You can't think. You have to assume your catcher. You're not going to throw one up in the zone and maybe potentially hang one. It cost you, you know, a hard-driven ball somewhere. A split finger is ball that's designed to go down the dirt. You see Montero going down and getting it. Make sure that that glove is covering the wickets.
One.
Well, same scenario. Bobby Abreu was up when Bobby Wilson scored on the wild pitch.
The 1-1. Missed outside, 2-1.
Wow. Freddie Garcia's like, where was that? What's his pitch here? Still gonna get right. I guess he's calling it outside. That's the way I've seen Larry Vanover saw it.
Missed outside, 3-1. Torrey Hunter is on deck.
See, Bobby Abreu's in swing mode. You got a guy at third base. You want an RBI as a hitter. Feed off that aggressiveness. The infield in. Increasing the odds to put the ball in play.
Swing and a miss.
Did not give in. Same pitch that he struck him out on. A good split finger. That ball's dropping off the table there. He's gonna throw another one. As you see the split, that's been his pitch, the go-to pitch when in trouble. He hasn't thrown many fastballs today.
Three-2. Missed outside, so Abreu works it up. That's going to bring up Torrey Hunter. Garcia had 93 pitches. Wade is ready. And Montero and Jeter will go out and talk with the veteran righty.
Well, lifetime, Torrey Hunter has done well. Today he's only 0 for 2. But against Garcia, 413 with 4 home runs coming into today's ballgame. Girardi electing to face Hunter for a third time with Corey Wade ready in the bullpen.
Swing and a miss.
Middle infield back. You're looking double play ball, your ground ball pitch. Something down the way.
Runner goes. And Montero has to block the splitter, and there's no throw as Abreu steals second.
Well, there goes your double play. Stolen base, block the ball. That slider down the way. He's been fighting it. Montero has, and that's the type of movement and where Freddie Garcia lives. Getting ahead in the count. Let's expand his own. Here comes Joe Girardi.
I guess you're going to talk. Do you want to walk Hunter to set up the double play? But boy, Trumbo's dangerous. You've handled him twice, though. You've handled Hunter twice as well. So that was a very quick conversation at the mound.
Yeah, I don't think that was a consultation with Freddie Garcia as to what do you think you want to do here.
This is what you're going to do.
Yeah, you know what? He's probably saying, look, you got the young kid behind him. Yes, Trout is a good young-looking player, but you got a guy in his career has done well against you. You want him? Yep, here it is, 4 pitches. He's going to intentionally walk him. Forcing any base, tough to double up. Mike Trout's got fantastic speed. I keep saying Trumbo.
It is Trumbo. Trout's up 8.
I said Mike Trout. Yeah. Much better double play matchup.
The Angels have 5 runs, but they have had 3 opportunities with runners in scoring position, haven't picked up a hit. They have 2 2-run home runs and 1 run scored on a wild pitch. So this is an opportunity with the bases loaded for them to put some distance between themselves and the Yankees. Trumbo struck out in the first and then tapped back to the mound in the 4th. The Yankees play the infield back at double play depth. Missed outside, 1-0.
Well, you definitely have with the power of Mark Trumbo. You want to get into a good pitcher's count, put him in a defensive mode. Good take there, a slider off the plate.
Swollen, it gets away from Montero. Scrambles after it. And Ibar just went halfway, maybe a third of the way, decided not to try.
Well, Ibar, let's see if he looks at it right away. He's kind of waiting there. Now look at that. He does not take off initially. I thought maybe that ball was right underneath him. That cost him potentially an opportunity to steal a run there. Couldn't see the ball.
Big spot in this game. The Yankees have awakened from an offensive slumber, but you're not going to ask them to do that much. And if Trumbo can pick up a big hit here. Pitch is low and away, 2-1.
Big pitch here. This is an action pitch right here. Freddie Garcia does not want to go 3-1. Ball will be in the zone somewhere.
Not in the zone, 3-1. Now it's a real action pitch for Trumbo.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Michael 3-1. You don't want to walk in a run here, but you got a guy with tremendous power. He leads the team in home runs, 26, 80 RBIs. Trumbo's going to be looking for his little sweet spot.
Got over 40,000, many on their feet. The 3-1 to Trumbo. Popped up. That will not get a run in. Nunez makes the call. Some miscommunication there. But the play is made for the second out. That was scary as he called off Teixeira. And then didn't know if he was going to make the catch.
End up calling infield fly, first base umpire. This is the pitch by pitch. Little slider off the plate. Larry Vanover gets a good look. And then he throws the split down the dirt. Ibar couldn't see the ball, potentially saved the run there. Now another split finger down the dirt. Montero getting that ball, just staying down and away, feeding off the aggressiveness of Trumbo as a hitter. That pulled a little string out. It looked like a little cutter. Nunez calling off, and then he looks at Teixeira. First base umpire Brian Gorman had called infield fly rule.
And I don't understand why he called the infield fly rule. That was not an easy play. It's supposed to be an ordinary play that would easily be made. You can't say that that was an ordinary play. Once he puts the hand up in the air, it's the infield fly rule. So even if it dropped, the runner's advance. You can't say that that was an ordinary play. Once he puts the hand up in the air, it's the infield fly rule. So even if it dropped, the runners advance on their own. They have to take a chance there. Here's Kai Aspo. There's a strike.
Well, if you saw the replay, Michael, Brian Gorman, who saw Nunez camped and called the infield fly, and then as a result of the miscommunication, made it much more interesting.
Now, for those new to the game, the origin of the infield fly rule, you don't want an infielder to just drop a pop-up and turn a double play. So that guards against the base runners being geeked like that. Just an easy pop-up being dropped and turned into 2 outs.
And usually an infield, literally infield dirt area or grass in the infield, that being going out to right field. You're right, Michael. A little level of difficulty.
Yeah, that was not an ordinary play. It would have been tougher to drop it and turn a double play. So Garcia 1 out away from getting out of this jam. And now he's 1 strike away from getting out of the jam.
Big at bat, big pitch. It seems like we've been saying that all day with each team. 2 runs the Angels. Yankees get a run. 3rd inning, Angels 1, 2. Now you want shutdown inning. Yankees getting the 4 runs. Big pitch right here.
The 1-2. Blocked there by Montero. Montero certainly being tested today.
Well, then that one pitch that went through his wickets, he's now getting that glove down. Hey, look, Freddie Garcia doesn't throw hard, velocity-wise, but great movement. That split finger at times, Michael, it serves as almost like a knuckleball with the wide grip. The ball would fade to the right or left. Unusual pitch, and catcher doesn't know exactly where it's going to go because it really has an effect of either down and in or down and away.
The 2-2. Now it's gut check time. You got the bases loaded, 2 outs, 3-2 count. The runners are going to be going. The crowd's going to be roaring. And Freddie Garcia knows he has to get this batter or he's probably out of the game.
Well, he went off speed with Mark Trumbo in the same scenario. They got him out in front. I gotta believe he's going to go with that split.
Grounded sharply to second. Right there is Nunez, and Garcia works out of trouble. No runs a hit, no errors, and the bases are left loaded. We go to the 6th. Angels 5, Yankees 4. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Moneyball, starring Brad Pitt, in theaters September 23rd, rated PG-13, and by Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the New York Yankees. How perfect, we tell you about Moneyball and Eric Chavez, who was part of the Moneyball Oakland A's. He leads off.
You looking forward to that movie?
Yeah, I'm going to see it.
I think it's good.
I don't know if I plan my September around it, but
no, but it's
I'm looking forward to seeing it. There's a strike. Should be good.
Yes.
I mean, it's been a passion project for Brad Pitt. He sees it as more than a baseball movie. Nice play by Mick Kelleher, who also threw out a first pitch because he's a former Angel, and he threw out the first pitch. I guess it was yesterday.
Yes, it was.
Reggie threw it out on Friday. Mick Kelleher threw it out yesterday. Today, the 10th year anniversary of the attacks of 9/11 being commemorated all around this country. As Chavez lost one to left field, Trout will put it away. And strangely, Al and I have known each other over 20 years from when he came up as a rookie with the Yankees. 10 years ago today, we were actually strangely together. And I mean, the story is odd, Al. Why don't you tell it?
You know what?
my wife Lori had texted and said, you got to tell the story. The fact that Michael and I have known Michael since, as he said, I got to the big leagues in '87 with the Yankees, and then my time with other teams, and then eventually the Mets. And the story is that I would have never have done this. My daughter, we were in Manhattan full time, put her in school. I was pitching that day
in Pittsburgh.
I was supposed to be in Pittsburgh, which I would have never done in the past, never did after that. But I felt like I needed to be there as a dad to drop her off at school.
First day of school.
First day of school, first grade. And went over to LaGuardia, taxied, and the pilot came on and said that they believed that it was a small aircraft that hit into the World Trade Center. We'll get back to you. And not 5 minutes later, they told us to get back to to LaGuardia, the gate, get your stuff, and they're closing New York airspace. And by the time I got to the cab to get back into the city, and I'm still thinking that there's a baseball game. Obviously, in hindsight, we got attacked, and then eventually the Pentagon and went out in Shanksville in Pennsylvania. So I'm in contact with the Mets thinking I'm going to try to get to Philadelphia. They closed Manhattan down. I'm going up to Tappan Zee to get to Philly to go play a baseball game. And in that time period, the rest is history. So I called Michael and said, where are you? And you were up in Westchester at the time. And I was spent the day and into the night with you.
And my family. We
That's
all
right.
went to my sister's house. My mom was there, and we just waited until you could get transportation back into Manhattan when they opened Manhattan up so you could be with your family.
Well, and then I don't think New York Subway opened that night, Michael, but I know Metro Line.
Metro Line did. You got in that way.
I'm so eerie getting back to Grand Central. I lived uptown on the east side and walking, and just everybody who was there and experienced such a solemn, quiet, scary moment. Never forget it.
When I talked to Rudolph Giuliani on Friday, I had him on my radio show, Al, he said that they thought at the time that there were going to be other attacks. He said we were all very concerned about it. He said because after the planes at the World Trade Center, he called the White House, and they told him that there were 7 more planes in the air that were unaccounted for. So they didn't know where those planes were headed and whether or not those planes had been hijacked. So New York was obviously on very, very high alert. The 0-1, the country was. Right back to Santana. There's one. On to first. It's a double play. So Nunez bangs into a 1-6-3 double play to end the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. And because of that TP, nobody left on base. Right back to Santana. And he fires to Ibar, over to Trumbo, end of the inning. 5-4 Angels.
I'm here talking big plays with W.B. Mason.
Yes. Watch this lady.
But let's explore what happened at the top of the 6th inning. See Andrew Jones bearing down on Ibar, takes him out, and you can clearly see that Nunez is safe at first base. So a bad call by Brian Gorman. I don't know why the Yankees didn't argue that. And then we have a little something going on at second base, Al.
Well, I don't know why Ibar. You see where Andrew Jones is sliding. That's perfectly within reach of him being able to get the bag. I think he's just complaining. But on the other end, I mean, we saw the Yankees leaning on there. They're right behind first base. Mark Trumbo kind of hesitated, waiting for Brian Gorman. You see the second base umpire, Dan Bellino, saying he was in reach. There wasn't anything dirty about it. But Trumbo waited and hesitated because first baseman can feel that when the runner touches first before you actually catch the ball. Bad call.
New pitcher for the Yankees is Corey Wade as Joe Girardi makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. And Wade starts off Peter Borges with a strike. So the Angels lead 5-4. And you're right, Al, we were watching the Angels. None of them walked off the field because they all thought, well, Nunez is safe and it's just 2 outs. You see Wade's numbers are outstanding. He's had some year for the Yanks. What a find for them out of the Tampa Bay minor league system.
Corey Wade, you mentioned it. What a year. I mean, what I really like, it's unique for right-hander. Doesn't throw real hard, right around the 90 mark, but he throws a fantastic changeup. Righty-lefty, it doesn't matter. Great arm speed.
Borges pops it up. Mark Teixeira calls everybody off for the first out.
Kudos to the Yankees scouting system, all of it. I mean, got a guy in AAA in Durham Bulls with the Tampa Bay AAA club who's pitching excellent for them. And ends up getting an opportunity. Was released by the organization. The Yankees picked him up.
It's kind of odd because the Rays, they were trying to build their bullpen back up. And they took a chance on Wade, who had been with the Dodgers, and they didn't have any place for him once the team broke spring training, and the Yankees kept an eye on him, and they picked him up.
Also, too, some of these veteran big league guys, and Corey Wade had some big league time with the Dodgers, that they have dates in these minor league deals to where a club has to bring him up or they give him their unconditional release.
We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Angels lead 5-4 over the New York Yankees. Yankees trying to avoid a sweep along with Al Leiter and Kimberly Jones. I'm Michael Kay. And we thank you for spending part of this Sunday afternoon with us here at Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. Red Sox have already lost 9-1 to Tampa Bay, so they get swept by the Rays. That's tapped right back to Wade. So the Yankees could expand their lead to 4 in the loss column if they can come back here. Angels have led from the start. They led 2-0, then it was 2-1, then it was 3-1, then it was 3-2, then it was 5-2, and the Yankees with 2 runs in the 5th inning on a Granderson 2-run home run. That's where we stand right now at 5-4.
Now the long ball, we talked about the Angels peppering the Yankees this series. They ended up getting a couple home runs. Kendrick early in the game. Borges, not known as a home run hitter. The Yankees get 2 home runs, Granderson, Cano.
Bobby Wilson pops it up. So Wade comes in and does a very good job. Pitches a 1-2-3 inning here in the 6th. Well, let's head to the 7th. Tight game. Angels 5, Yankees 4.
Join Yankees Universe, the official fan club of the New York Yankees.
Members enjoy exclusive benefits, including fast-track entry to Yankee Stadium and the New York Yankees Museum, presented by Bank of America.
Access to an exclusive website and a subscription to MLB Game Day Audio.
Benefits increase based on the tier of membership selected.
A portion of all proceeds are donated to Memorial Sloan Kettering, benefiting pediatric cancer research. Join Yankees Universe today by visiting Yankees.com or by calling 800-GO-YANKS.
I love this card. With the Bank Americard Cash Rewards credit card,
we earn more cash back for the things we buy most.
That's 1% cash back everywhere, every time.
2% on groceries.
3% on gas, automatically. No hoops to jump through.
That's 1% cash back on Oscar.
Tony.
Oscar.
2% back on whatever she'll eat. 3% back on filling up this baby.
Now get 1, 2, 3% cash back.
It's that simple.
Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
We're talking 3% back on gas.
We don't just make a sunroof. We make the heavens wide. We don't just make a crossover. We make a statement. The Cadillac SRX. We don't just make luxury cars. We make Cadillacs.
Now lease a 2011 SRX for $399 a month. Visit CadillacTristate.com for this attractive offer.
Mariano is closing in on becoming the all-time saves leader, and every game is another chance to make history. Tomorrow, the Bombers open their series against the Mariners, and with a record in his sights, Mo looks to close it down and secure another victory for the Yankees. Yankees, Mariners. Complete coverage starts tomorrow at 9:30, only on Yes.
Well, we go to the 7th inning. Yankees are down 5-4. It'll be 9-1-2 in the Yankee order. That's Gardner, Jeter, and Granderson. Angels have the left-hander Scott Downs up in their bullpen. Urban Santana has not had a dominant game by any stretch. On the Cadillac scoreboard, you see he's given up 6 hits. Angels have 7. Angels have a 5-4 lead. And the pitch is inside. Last time up, Gardner had a chance for a big hit. Bases loaded with 2 outs, 1 run already in. But he hit the ball hard against Santana, but right at Borges in center field. There's a strike. Count 1-2. Count 2-2. And the pitch. Slapped into center field. Borges coming on. He's going to have to play it on a hop. So the Yankees have the tying run on base.
Similar hit, not quite as far. Had some topspin to it. Peter Borges wasn't able to make that play. Line drive, good start for the Yankees. Here in the top of the seventh. Watch, he gets a little topspin on it. Borges does a nice job out there, realizing he couldn't get it. Plays it on the one hop. There you got Scott Downs waiting for Mr. Granderson. I'm sure this will be Santana's last at bat. 96 pitches, coming up on 97 now.
Jeter shows bunt, takes low, 1-0. I don't know if you want to be playing for a tie in the 7th inning on the road.
I don't think so. You know what? This is Gardner ended up getting a bad jump because of Santana's ability to keep him a little bit closer. Maybe Jeter's going to give Gardner a shot to steal a bag here. Well, you got the American League leader in stolen bases. Santana and the Angels are certainly aware of that, doing all that you can as a pitcher to make sure he doesn't get a good jump. Step off, slide step, hold the ball, quick step, as he did in the previous time opportunity for Gardner to try to steal a base, and he ended up coming to the belt quickly, going home, costing Gardner not the ability to get a good jump. All from Socha, gives it to home plate or catcher Bobby Wilson. The signs. Just off the plate, fastball away. Good pitch to hit right here for Derek. And give him a sign, Bobby Wilson. Now whether it's a slide step, you saw that last pitch. Again, Gardner couldn't go. He's had to quick right to his belt and through home.
Line drive, a base hit to right center field. Gardner speeds around second. He'll go to third. Jeter stops at first, and the Yankees are set up. First and third, and nobody out.
A couple things there, Michael. Santana, obviously, you got a tight ball game. You're up by 1 run, probably your last batter. Gets behind the count as a result of Gardner's speed. Jeter, great approach, right center field. Nice at bat.
So Jeter now 2 for 4. He gets the pitch up and away, and he drives it into right center. Nice play by Borges to stop that ball from going to the wall, which would have allowed Gardner to score. But Gardner going to third all the way, heads there, and the Yankees are set up. First and third, nobody out. That's going to do it for Santana, as Socha will signal for his left-hander, Scott Downs, to face Granderson. Stick around. .37 ERA. This will be his 53rd game, and he faces Curtis Granderson. The tying run is at third. That is Brett Gardner. Count 1-0.
How about to the tune here at Angel Stadium, Michael? He hasn't allowed a run in 25 outings all season long. A 0 ERA here. What a pickup from the Blue Jays free agent sign.
There's a strike. Count 1-1. This does not exactly neutralize Curtis Granderson. He's hitting better against lefties. than he is against righties. 282 with 15 home runs. 15 of his 39 home runs have come against lefties, and many fewer at bats. Way outside, 2-1.
Well, those numbers are true, and obviously it depends on the count and the scenario in the game, but lifetime, Scott Downs is Granderson's 0 for 11.
Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Oh, the big same pitch. We got 4 in a row. The curveball, 75 miles an hour, good tilt.
Swing and a miss. He got him. That is a big strikeout for Downs. Now he's a double play away from getting out of a jam.
We'll take a look at the pitch by pitch, but it is the same pitch. He throws a little curveball that throws across his body, which makes it better tilt, better break, gets it over. 1-0 curveball. Then he goes further outside, 2-1. You think he's going to get a pitch? Same pitch, down and away, good location. And then again the same pitch. 5 curveballs in a row.
Well, that strikeout right there gives Granderson something that he never imagined he'd get and never really wanted. That was his 158th strikeout. That's the most strikeouts any Yankee has ever had in a single season. He had been tied with Alfonso Soriano, who did it in 2002. Here is Teixeira, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts against Santana. And there's a strike, and he turns around to the right side against the lefty Downs. Angels see on the board that Texas is leading Oakland 7-0. So a big, big game for the Angels as they try to chase down the Rangers in the West. Count 1-1. The Yankees know that the Red Sox have lost 9-1 to Tampa Bay. Red Sox have lost 5 in a row, 9 of 11. So there's a lot on the line in this game. 5-4, Angels lead, first and third. 1 man out here in the 7th. And Downs on in relief of Santana. High fly ball, right center. That's going to tie the game. Borges will make the catch. No, he dropped the ball. He dropped the ball. Jeter is at third. They're going to wave him home. The throw goes errant, and Jeter will score as the Yankees take the lead. And Teixeira ends up at third. How about that? Peter Borges, one of the best center fielders in the game, simply dropped the ball.
Well, fight in the sun, Michael. Great base running by Derek Jeter. He was in between. You're assuming, okay, he's got a track. Now the sun is a factor. Let's see, he's got the glove up. He just clanks it. No sun involved there. That just hits off the heel of the glove. You got an outfielder that's camped, literally square to the ball. Takes his eye off the ball. No doubt about it. Sac fly scores a run to tie the ball game out. Now watch Derek. Derek realizing that that's a short enough throw for the center fielder, so he's not tagging up. And because of where he is, Robbie Thompson coming down the line, they missed the cutoff throw, enabling Derek Jeter to score to share to third base. Good base running all the way around.
So Teixeira on third with a 3-base error. And now the infield's in for Cano. And he hits one sharply to Kendrick. That will not get a run in as Teixeira holds at third. What a turn of events for the Yankees, who finally catch a break. And we told you this earlier before Friday's game. Angel manager Mike Scioscia was trumpeting Peter Borges as a Gold Glover. He said there's no doubt that he has to win the Gold Glove this year. Well, he misplayed one ball earlier that was not scored in error, and this one clearly in error. As Butcher will go out and talk with Scott Downs and wants to give him a scouting report on Jesus Montero. What was the play? It was the Chavez drive, right? The center in the 4th inning. that he had played, and then just didn't look it into his glove.
Yes.
And that was scored a double.
Ended up being a double.
So this has not been a great game for Borges, who's standing in center field with his hands on his hip, and he's probably thinking about this.
And look, there's no charity talk with Socha when he's saying this guy. This guy has been a highlight reel, Michael. Certainly today's ball game has not shown this guy's ability of what he's meant to this ball club. They have 3 center fielders moved. He basically displaced Torrey Hunter, a great Gold Glover himself. Son could have had a factor. I don't think so, because he was camped.
Now, one thing, if you're keeping score at home, they're going to intentionally walk Montero. Teixeira does not get charged with an at-bat. He gets a sac fly. He'll get an RBI to tie the game. And for Teixeira, it's his 103rd ribby. He reaches base on the E8. And now they will intentionally walk Montero, as we mentioned, and they'll deal with Chavez. And the Yankees a little short on the bench because of all the injuries. Swisher's down. A-Rod's down. Martin's down. Cervelli's not even here, so they're going to keep Chavez up against the left-handed Downs.
Well, Chavez in his career, 2 for 5, only 5 at-bats against Down. One of those two hits was a home run.
Teixeira's at third, Montero's at first. Yankees now lead 6-5, first lead of the game. The count 1-0.
Well, as a left-handed hitter, you know that Chavez was looking closely at the at-bat that Granderson had, Michael. All curveballs. That first pitch of curveball, again, it's shown at Downs. That's his out pitch against lefty. Ties him up with a fastball.
And now the pressure on the Yankee bullpen to get this done. Freddie Garcia off the hook. And as we told you, the Yankee bullpen is rested. You'll see Soriano in the 7th. Everybody's available today as the Yankees try to snap a 4-game losing streak. 1-1. Yankees have actually had a 6-game losing streak this year.
Got to go way back to May 16th.
2-1. Now 2-2.
Wait, threw the one fastball in to lock him up, foul ball, and then 2 curveballs in a row. Protect Mo, tough lefty on lefty. Got a very tough left-handed pitcher in Downs. He's shown it this year to the tune of 167 batting average against for lefties.
2-2. Strike 3, Chavez down looking. But the Yankees take the lead. They score 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 huge error, and 2 men left on base. So it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees lead 6-5, but a special rendition of God Bless America here at Angel Stadium led to deep center field. Would have tied the game anyway, but that gave them the lead as Jeter sped around the bases. Now the Yankees have to hold on to that lead, and the first line of defense is going to be Soriano as he takes over on the mound.
Rafael Soriano is coming back from the DL.
And also behind the plate is Austin Romine. So he's making his major league debut. He got here in the middle of the game, and here he is behind the plate catching Soriano.
Tell you a lot about this young kid, how they feel about his catch and throw. While Montero did a fine job, you want to make sure you shore up your defense. And if there is a plus side of Austin Romine, and talk about his superior defense.
Boy, does that you said a mouthful there. That tells you all you need to know of what they think of this kid defensively. And it's always been that way when you hear the scouting reports about their young catchers. Montero's the hitter. Romine can really catch. Grounded to third. Nice play by Chavez. One away to retire Ibar for the first time today.
Good play, tight defense. Got to get this play, respecting the fact that Ibar and several of these hitters may bunt in tight enough. Snatch that tough ground ball. Good play.
Here's Kendrick against Soriano. So Wade with a scoreless 6th inning. Now Soriano. Pitch inside. Pitch outside, 2-0.
Quite the baseball family, Michael. Andrew Romine, Austin's brother, is also a call-up for the Angels. His dad, Kevin Romine, longtime Major League player, played a lot of years with the Red Sox.
Fouled away. Can you imagine the whirlwind that this kid, he wasn't being called up because he wasn't on the 40-man roster. And this is his resume. Al told you, the son of former Major Leaguer Kevin Romine. Drafted in 2007, was a Futures Game selection, Eastern League All-Star last year. And Russell Martin gets hurt. Posada has to come in an emergency in the 3rd inning. Montero is not really up to snuff Major League level to be a defensive catcher just yet. And he gets a call and he has to pack, and he doesn't get here to the game in time. He gets to the game, puts his uniform on, and he's catching in the 7th inning of a big game for the Yanks. Grounded through for a base hit.
Michael, you said he was in Trenton?
He was in Trenton.
So they're in the postseason.
Yeah. They had moved him up to Scranton when Montero came up, so he came from Scranton. He's now their 4th catcher in 2 games.
And to boot, that whirlwind grew up in around nearby here. Lives in Lake Forest, California, about 20 minutes from here.
About 20 minutes down the 5, which is the West Coast version of I-95. So a strike to Bobby Abreu. He's probably got family and friends here, probably made phone calls once he got the call. I thought they were going to send him right to Seattle, but obviously they rerouted him here to Anaheim, and he's in the game. Let's see if they try to send Kendrick and test him. Swing and a miss, and the count 0-2 on Abreu. Boy, this series has had it all, Al. Absolutely had it all. Little ball, big hits, drop, fly balls. Jorge Posada catching for the first time all year. The injury to Russell Martin. Great pitching performance by Colon. That was wasted. Solid one by Sabathia wasted. And here we are with another rookie playing a big role for the Yankees, Austin Romine behind the plate. Yankees lead 6-5. So a 1-2 count on Abreu. There's his brother. Fouled away. That has to be pretty cool for family to see both of their kids, one on one team, one on the other, 20 minutes from where they grew up. There's Russell Martin, who's hurt with that sore right thumb. Showing he could spit very well, though. Get some distance on that. They hope he gets back in the lineup in a couple of days. Now Cervelli was given clearance by the Angel doctors yesterday that he could fly back to the East Coast despite suffering from concussion symptoms. You might wonder, well, where did he get this? He got that in the collision in Baltimore with Nick Markakis at home plate and somehow held on to the ball. Started getting headaches on Thursday, decided to tell the Yankees, and they shut him down. And this could be his third concussion in the last 2 years. Count 2-2.
Michael, isn't there a protocol in place now with obviously all sports, because the concussion has become very serious stuff, obviously in football and hockey. But I think once that happens, they have to lay off a certain amount of days. It's a prescribed test and making sure that they're able to get back and play. I don't know the exact amount of days, but I know there's a period of time that they have to spend some time away.
Well, it's got to be scary for Francisco. This would be his third in 2 years and fourth overall. Yeah. 2-2. And the weird part about that collision in Baltimore is that Cervelli might have suffered a concussion, and here's the collision, which was one of the great relay plays you'll ever see. It was Granderson to Cano, Cano to Cervelli, ball, Markakis arrive at the same time, and Markakis walking through the Oriole clubhouse after that game had his left shoulder all ice, so he got hurt on the collision as well. But Cervelli seems as if he might have suffered the more serious injury. The 2-2, 3-2.
Tough at bat right here, Michael, from Bobby Bray, fighting off several fastballs. Boy, they need Rafael Soriano to get consistent, be right. Since coming back with some elbow trouble from the DL, he just hasn't been able to get it going. 15 innings, 6 runs.
Runner goes, line drive, a base hit. Hendrick is going to go to third. Granderson flips the ball into Jeter. A good at bat for Abreu. And the Angels have runners on the corners with 1 out.
Yeah, that's a very good at bat. He ended up fighting off some tough pitches that Rafael Soriano threw, and then he throws a 3-2 slider, middle of the plate, good approach. A true 300 hitter that Bobby Abreu's done most of his career. On the run, Howie Kendrick easily getting to third base.
I'll tell you what, the last couple of weeks, Soriano has not looked like the same pitcher that he was when he came off the DL. Doesn't seem to be throwing as hard. He's always around 91 now, and when he came off the DL, he was at 95 sometimes. So we'll see if he steps up here after a 10-pitch at bat and a battle with Abreu. Here's Toy Hunter, the tying runs at third. 6-5 Yankees lead. Pitch outside. That was 95 miles an hour. So maybe he's holding it in reserve.
Yeah, you know, that first at bat, Bobby had some tough pitches fouled off. Ended up resorting to the slider. It is about a command issue for Rafael Soriano being able to get ahead.
Count 2-0. Soriano wants a new baseball.
Yeah, any pitcher, especially as a reliever, tight ball game, obviously 1-run game, you have to get ahead. You strike one, 0-2, 1-2. You're a 2-pitch pitcher, basically, occasional change. Hitters can just sit on a pitch.
High fastball, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, said Brian Gorman. That is a count changer right there. And that's a good call.
Yep. Couldn't hold up, saw that ball, high fastball, looked good to swing at, realized at the very end it was a ball, I couldn't hold up.
Popped up and out of play, so the count levels at 2-2. Can Soriano put Hunter away? Hendricks at third, Abreu is at first. On deck, Mark Trumbo. David Robertson warming for the Yankees. Fights it off and fouls it off down the right field line as Jones gives it a look.
It's a little closer. You watch the bat path of a hitter, and you're really late as he was 2 pitches before. Now that ball getting a little closer to the right field line. Things in which a pitcher thinks about as to what he'd want to throw on the next pitch based on the previous one.
Two inside with a fastball. 3-2. A couple more decisions have to be made. If you're Sosa, are you sending Abreu on 3-2 with 1 out? You don't know that much about Romine. You must have some kind of a scouting report. They probably asked his brother, can he throw? Is he a good catcher?
Hunter, 114 strikeouts.
Runner goes. Pitch is high. He went. Now the throw through. Not in time. Somehow Abreu got in there. So Torrey Hunter tried to check his swing. He went around. And now I think Joe Girardi's going to say Hunter might have been in the way of Romine.
Bit of a rookie mistake here. You must throw the ball. You can't wait for the umpire to decide whether he was going or not. Fakes the throw. Hunter trying to do a veteran move here, thinking, okay, ball 4. You see the home plate umpire, Larry Vanover, call him, he swung. Now you got some confusion with Bobby Abreu. All the way around. If it's a ball 4, he's going to second anyway. And he's halfway there, he stops. Made no sense to stop. Romine, I guess, stopped his throw, Michael, because Bobby Abreu stopped. Let's see if he keeps the tag on him. I don't know where Nunez was going either. Stay on the tag there. He gets Bobby Abreu out.
All right, so 2 outs now as Hunter strikes out. Stolen base for Abreu. And here is Trumbo. And he nubs it toward first. Right there is Teixeira. He'll take it himself. And Soriano is pumped up as he works out of a jam. Big pitching performance by Soriano. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 left. Let's go to the 8th. 6-5 Yanks. 5-9-1. Kendrick and Borges, 2-run home runs each. Granderson, a 2-run home run. Cano, a solo home run. Borges dropped the ball in center field that gave the Yankees the 2 runs in the 7th inning. That gave them the lead. First big league game behind the plate for Jesus Montero. Then the first big league game ever for Austin Romine, who showed up as the game was going on. He got the call up last night from Scranton Wilkes-Barre, and here he is catching Rafael Soriano in the 7th inning and almost making what turned out to be a huge mistake, but the Yankees got out of it when Soriano ended up getting Trout to ground out to, or Trumbo to ground out to first. A lot of stuff going on. Hyundai scoreboard, 6-5 Yankees lead. New pitchers Bobby Casava, and he will face Andrew Jones. There's a strike. Those are the numbers, and he's had a good season. Pitch outside.
Sinker slider. Hey, he has a good season. You talk about a guy who's drafted out of the 34th round out of Northern Florida, Jacksonville. Sinker slider, 92 miles an hour. We just saw the slider, 88.
Have you seen many 3-game sits like this, Al, where there's so many storylines?
No. I mean, the pitching, really by both sides, is certainly what Herron was able to do and Jared Weaver. First 2 games. Colon pitched a heck of a ball game. first game out. CC was a little off.
That one's chopped to third. Callaspo gets Andrew Jones for the first out. And this road trip continues tomorrow as the Yankees head to Seattle to take on the Mariners in the first game of a 3-game set. Complete coverage starts at 9:30 with the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then Al and I have all the action from Safeco Field. Yankees and the Mariners. Bill Hughes against King Felix. It all starts tomorrow at 9:30. It's only on Yes. Eduardo Nunez steps in. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Fouled away.
When you say all, we're talking about the offense that the Yankees weren't able to produce the first 2 games especially, and also the different ways in which that the Angels scored runs in this series. Eventually hitting some long balls. Some wacky plays, some key running, good base running, and also some base running mistakes. Granderson finally coming through with a big home run. Danny Herron, what a game last night.
Count 3-1 to Nunez. Nunez 3 for his last 34, so full season in the big leagues and maybe just a bit fatigued right now. His bat has gone south. As he chops that one slowly to third. And a beautiful play by Callaspo for the second out. Charged hard and made a good throw.
Alberto Callaspo, nice fielding play. I'll tell you, the infield has been shored up nicely here. Callaspo coming in on this, and no question, Nunez got a chance to beat out a hit here. He says it all in one motion. Callaspo just easily flicking a nice firm throw across the diamond, getting Nunez.
We told you the Yankees are going to Seattle, and Girardi announced before the game that they are staying with the 6-man rotation at least through next Wednesday, a doubleheader on September 21st. So here are the probables in the Seattle series. Got Hughes against King Felix, as we told you, then A.J. Burnett against Charlie Furbush, and then Ivan Nova against Jason Vargas. All of those games right here on Yes, and the first pitch right around 10:07 each night. Pitch outside to Gardner. Gardner started the Yankees' 2-run rally in the 7th inning with a single to center field to lead off the inning. And Joe said it's at least through September 21st and maybe for the rest of the season. Well, after September 21st, the season is just another week long.
Well, but the doubleheader did buy him some time, because I think there's some legitimacy there. He talked about it in the pregame that if you skip a guy and then you have him come back, giving them potentially 10 days rest.
Line to right field. Hunter makes the play for the final out of a 1-2-3 eighth inning. Well, we go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees holding on to a 6-5 lead. David Robertson will come on.
This is the kind of truck that has it all. Guess that means you can do it all. It's the Chevy Season of Doing. Now combine the All-Star Edition discount with other offers for a total value of $6,000. Or qualified buyers can get 0% APR for 60 months plus $1,000 cash allowance on all Silverado models. Get to your Chevy dealer and get that truck today.
30,000 feet. The weather there is a sunny 66 degrees. We're looking good for an on-time arrival at about 5:45 local.
An airline's job is to take you from where you are to where you need to be. And we're not just talking about points on a map. It's about constantly finding new ways to make the world a smaller place and close the gap between far away and right away. Like having the most Wi-Fi equipped planes that lets you venture beyond our more than 200 U.S. destinations to be everywhere at once. Like a more intuitive Delta website and mobile app that can connect you to information about your next flight, even while you're still in flight. Innovations like these are extending our reach so that you can extend yours. And now, even at 30,000 feet, you can still touch the ground.
Trust WB Mason for the branded products you want at prices you'll love. Like Aspen Premium Recycled Papers, which look and perform as brilliantly as non-recycled paper. For all your office needs, who but WB Mason?
You know, you could vote along with us for today's Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772, or you can vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are number 1, Robinson Cano, number 2, Curtis Granderson, number 3, Howie Kendrick, number 4, Mark Teixeira, just for hitting a fly ball that was dropped. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. The new pitcher for the Yankees is David Robertson. As Soriano pitched a scoreless 7th, now Robertson on for the 8th, and if all goes according to plan, Mariano in the 9th. The numbers on Robertson, 1.21 ERA, 90 strikeouts in 59 in the 3rd innings. Yankees also make a defensive change, and they will bring in Robinson Cano to play second base, replacing Eduardo Nunez. So that means the Yankees lose their DH, and Robertson has to be penciled into Nunez's spot in the number 8 hole in the lineup. And on Hyundai scoreboard, Yankees lead 6-5. So a lot of maneuvering here as the Yankees try to tighten things up with Cano at second. So no DH as Cano started the game as the DH. And Robertson on the mound facing Kai Aspo. Now, I can't tell you why. I guess we're always supposed to have some kind of explanation. I don't know why Scott Proctor is warming in the Yankee bullpen.
Because he probably hasn't thrown in a few days and he's getting work.
Okay.
You have a lot of arms down there, Michael.
Well, he pitched Thursday.
Yeah, but you know what?
In Baltimore, but I guess, yeah, just taking some of the minute.
Yeah, I'll say that because I remember being one of them. You're down there, you haven't thrown in a few days, you need some work.
The 1-1. Grounded softly to short. Jeter will get Kai Aspo for the first out.
Really, before the game, I thought about that with some of the call-ups with Betances and Brackman, and we saw Valdez throw yesterday, potentially maybe to go in the game. You got to get throwing time. You can't throw before the game because you may get in the game. And you have to find a spot because you just might get an opportunity.
Now remember, the Yankee lineup is decidedly weaker. There's no Montero now, and there's no Nunez, so you have Romine, a defensive-minded catch who can hit a little bit. He's going to bat in the number 5 hole in the Yankee order. And the Yankee order has gone around to the top of the order for the 9th inning. So Jeter, Granderson, Teixeira, if they have a little rally going, they really can't pinch hit for Romine unless you'll gamble and have Posada as the catcher.
Well, right here, there's no doubt Joe Girardi's just thinking defense, obviously good pitching, keep the game as it is, and put the ball in the hands of Mariano Rivera.
Count 1-1 on Borges. Missed outside. Fouled straight back here and over our booth.
Looking at the velocities of David Robertson, they vary anywhere from that 93 mark up to 95, 96. What a year he's had. Lowest ERA in the American League for relievers.
Chop toward first, going to be a tough play. but they make it beautifully as Robertson got off the mound quickly and beat the speedy Borges to first.
Watch the share here. The sun's not a factor. The sun is more over the first base dugout. But this lead toss was key. You have a speedy runner. You got to make sure that you bust over there. Now it's a race between a pitcher and a fast runner. But that lead toss from Teixeira really helped Robertson make that play. Nice play from Mark Teixeira.
Here's Mike Trout. Robertson showed some speed himself, got off the mound quickly and hustled to first, and it really wasn't that close. Breaking ball strike from Robertson. Robertson pitched on Friday, 1-2-3 inning. Wasn't available yesterday. Trying to get 3 outs here in the 8th. Russell Branyan has come out on deck to pinch hit for Bobby Wilson. And there's a strike, count 0-2. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Blew a fastball right by him. An impressive 8th inning for David Robertson. It's a tight one here in SoCal. Yankees lead 6-5. We're going to take it to the 9th inning right here on Yes.
Every once in a while, something comes along so powerful in concept, so revolutionary in design, it becomes a cultural icon and defines a generation. Another icon has arrived and ready to prove once again it's the simple things in life that have the biggest impact. 2012 Fiat 500. Simply more.
School is now in jam session. Rock out with Beats Audio. Quad speakers and Blu-ray at a price that will blow you away. Only on the HP DV6T. Get it at your favorite retailer or hpdirect.com.
Every luxury car claims to be somehow greater than the sum of its parts. But how about one that's smarter?
The Lincoln MKZ, named most dependable car in its class 2 years running by J.D. Power & Associates. Now, take advantage of exceptional offers on the MKZ.
It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that.
Miss the game again? Get the best sports in town only in the New York Post. Delivered right to your doorstep 7 days a week for less than the newsstand price. Featuring an all-star team of sports columnists, plus the hottest in entertainment and the best in business news. Score your New York Post subscription. Call now at 1-800-552-POST.
10 years ago today was a day New Yorkers will never forget, and a time when our city showed its strength and resilience. Tonight, the Yes Network examines the role New York sports played in the city's recovery, featuring interviews with Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, and our very own Paul O'Neill, as well as the former mayor of New York, Rudolph Giuliani. 9/11 remembered tonight after the postgame, right here on Yes, and following that show, an all-new WB Mason presents The Joe Girardi Show, right here on Yes. Well, we go to the 9th inning, and Hisanori Takahashi will take over, but first, there's a little conversation between the rookie catcher and David Robertson.
He's going over it, and also Posada. They have Joe Girardi coming over to the young catcher, along with Larry Roxell, going over scatter put, going over the hitters who he'll be seeing in the 9th inning. Bobby Wilson, Eric Ibar, Howie Kendrick, how Mariano Rivera may want to pitch him.
The book is out, telling him everything he needs to know. At least with Mariano, he doesn't have to go through that many pitches. It's a cutter. Where do you want to throw the cutter? Derek Jeter against Takahashi. And there's a strike.
Although Mo has evolved more. You're right, cutter. He's thrown a few more sinkers, but that book was the inside edge that most teams use, and Girardi showing some hot spots, cold spots for the hitters that are coming up in the 9th. Normally, before every series, catchers sit down with the pitching staff and they go over it.
Pitch outside.
Obviously, with Romine showing up in the middle of the game, he didn't have that luxury.
Count 2-1. Those are the numbers on Takahashi. Less than a hit per inning. 46 strikeouts, 21 walks, pitching to a 3.79 ERA. This is 53rd game of the year. I got a piece of Wilson. And the count 2-2. And the 2-2. Chop toward short. Charging Ibar. And he'll get Jeter, so Garrett is 2 for 5 today.
Number 14, center
He's
fielder.
got in enough on him. 88 on our fastball. Listen, Takahashi's done a nice job for the Angels. He was with the Mets last year. Did a little starting and relieving. Ended up having a nice year for him.
Here's Curtis Granderson, who was 1 for 4. Curtis, a big hit in the game, a 2-run shot in the 5th inning. So Curtis 1 for 4. Grounded to first, grounded to second, struck out, and that 2-run home run against Irvin Santana. High pop-up. Right side, Kendrick out, Hunter in, and Hunter makes the call on the catch for the second out.
Number 25, first baseman Mark Teixeira.
And that's going to bring up Mark Teixeira. Mark with that sac fly that was dropped by Burgess in the 7th inning. The sac fly tied the game at 5, but when he dropped the ball, that allowed Jeter to come all the way around from first and score. Pitches inside, 1-0.
Tough series for Teixeira. That sac fly being the difference, ended up being an error. Had 3 strikeouts prior to that hit, and then the day before, 2 strikeouts, 5 consecutive strikeouts over 3 last night.
And the count 3-0. And the pitch. He walked him. So 1 on and 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Cano. Freddie Garcia labored in this game, but he did get tough. His final 2 batters out, bases loaded in the 5th inning with 1 out. He got Trumbo to pop to second and got Callaspo to ground out to second. Otherwise, the game gets out of hand at that point.
Yeah, the big pitch for me was that Mark Trumbo, a little pop up to second base, really gave him a boost and then up getting the ground ball to Callaspo. Big moment in the game. If it stays up, that was a huge 2 big outs.
Pitch to Cano is outside, 1-0. Pitch outside, 2-0 to Cano. Yankees could give Rivera a little breathing room. Now, if you're looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth inning, you've got Wilson, so you'll have a pinch hitter for him. It's going to be Branyan. The last time that Branyan faced Mariano Rivera, he gave up a big home run that made a game tight that the Yankees ended up winning, and then Ibar and Kendrick. And if anybody gets on, Bobby Abreu. Cano 2 for 4. Came into the game 2 for his last 22, so like most of the Yankee hitters, a little bit of a slump, but he's 2 for 4 tonight. Swing and a miss, 2-2, or should I say this afternoon?
Yes, beautiful afternoon.
Cano singled and scored in the second, and then the home run in the fourth. Then he flied out to center and grounded to second. It is 6:47 in New York, so that would be nighttime. But here, brilliant sunshine still bathing the field. Some shadows starting to creep around home plate, but I think we'll get in the bottom of the ninth inning without that being a factor.
Mo would like for that to be a factor.
Well, then his team has to rally here. And they're not going to, as Cano swings and misses, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, one man left. Last licks coming up for the Angels against the mighty Mo.
Got yourself a brand new Toyota.
Thanks a lot.
Oh, Mr. Manning, my pen.
Sorry, here you go.
It's a great time to sign, because right now at your Toyota dealer, you can get amazing lease offers, low financing options, or great cashback incentives on all your favorite Toyotas. Toyota, official vehicle of the New York Giants.
You could save a bundle with Geico's multi-policy discount. Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
Mariano Rivera summed it up. A lot of players that I spoke to at that time, they didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you say, Al, to somebody who just lost a loved one?
God, Mariano nailed it. You're right. I mean, what do you say? What could you do? But I remember. I mean, you're right. The hug, the hold a hand. I mean, you know, it was so emotional for everybody. But knowing what we were, what we meant, given an opportunity to help heal some of the pain as a Major League Baseball player at that time.
And now Mariano Rivera will try to close this game out. Still pitching 10 years later with a 39 save mark, 2.13 ERA. And he's 2 away from 600, 3 away from tying the all-time record of 601 held by Trevor Hoffman. And it's not going to be easy, as he will face Russell Branyan, pinch hitting for Bobby Wilson. As we told you at the stadium, Branyan hit a long home run against Mo in the 9th inning. The Angels threatened, but they didn't win that game. But Branyan did connect off Mo. He guessed right and opened up quickly and drove a cutter over the wall. Let's see what happens here in the rematch.
He's such an all-or-nothing guy, Michael. Got tremendous pop. His whole career, everybody's loved his tools.
Home run every 15 at-bats in his career. And he fouls that one away. It's not an easy job, pinch hitter, and that's exactly what he has to do. He has to come up against a really good closer, in this case, the best one ever, try to hit a home run.
Well, how about this? 4 of his last hits are home runs. I said 4 of his last 5 hits. He's 4 for 11 in August. 3 of those 4 hits have been home runs.
Swing and a miss. 1-2. Yankees trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. Get out of Anaheim with a win.
Well, every big guy, Michael, you try to not allow them to extend their arms. And Mariano, when he throws his cutter right in on the hands, up above the belt, preferably to a big guy like Russell Branyan, it's a good spot to jam him. Like that.
Popped him up. Austin Romine makes the play.
How cool is that? Austin Romine getting a cutter from the great Mariano Rivera inside above the belt. Austin Romine camped, making sure he squeezes that glove. Throwing down the signs.
22 years old, catching a legend, 41-year-old Mariano Rivera. Here's Ibar, 3 for 4 today. And a strike. Good story in the Times today by David Waldstein about Rivera's pursuit of the 601 mark. And Mike Scioscia was quoted in the story and said, the guy's a freak. He said, I don't mean that in a negative way. He said, you just don't do it this long and this consistently with one pitch. He said, you just can't do it, but it's being done. That's going to be a really tough play. There's going to be no play. That's an old Baltimore chop as Ibar reaches his 4th hit and another infield hit for the Angels. Their 9th of this series.
I don't think it's by design, especially with a guy like Eric Ibar. Watch, he just makes sure he gets on top of it. This is like playing a little cricket, a little hockey. Slap the stick. Slap it on the ground. He's got that speed. If he's banging it to the left side easily, obviously Derek Jeter putting it in his pocket at the speed of Eric Ibar.
Here's Kendrick, 2 for 3, 2-run home run in the 1st inning. Ibar a threat to steal. And we told you, Austin Romine, his major league debut behind the plate.
Well, Mariano absolutely has to make sure he pays attention to Eric Ibar. Romine, good strong thrower. You do not want the potential tying run to easily get to second base. Mariano using a little quick step, shorten his leg kick. Not normal. You don't usually see Mariano do that.
One, swing and a miss. 1-2. Ibar leads off first. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Kendrick. Bottom of the 9th inning. Yankees clinging to a 6-5 lead. Long set and the pitch fouled away.
Couple of the Angels starters pitched some very well pitched games these first 2 games for the Angels.
Ibar just gets back. Romine getting the signs from the dugout. And those are the signs for a throw over or a pitch out. One, two. And Kendrick goes down.
That's the occasional two-seamer. You saw we just showed Romine with the little wiggle of the finger. That's a two-seam sinking fastball coming in. So many cutters that Mariano throws, and then this ball boring inside. Kendrick getting it on, looks like the left foot.
"13 pitches for Rivera, 9 strikes. And the 1-2. Let's see if they can turn 2. There's 1, there's 2, there's a ball game. Put it on the left side, and the Yankees snap their 4-game losing streak with a dramatic, nail-biting 6-5 victory. Well, there's the old and the young of it. Mariano Rivera and 22-year-old Austin Romine in his big league debut. And the Yankees put this one away 6-5. And you have to stick around for the post-game show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game.
Nice play, hard ground ball, but plenty of time. Robinson Cano being able to get the double play out of this. What a finish to this ball game. It had everything, Michael. Good plays, good base running, home runs, C&I hits. Youngster Austin Romine coming in.
Now we've had it all, and the Yankees finally get a win. So now they have their biggest lead of the year in the American League East. They're finally over 3 games there. 4 games in the loss column. As the Red Sox have lost 5 in a row, the Yankees snap their 4-game losing streak. And the Yankees have a big lead, and Kimberly Jones has the captain, Derek Jeter, with it. Kim?
Thank you, Michael. Derek, you scored the 6th and go-ahead, the game-winning run on what looked from the press box like a fly ball to center field. You're on first base. How are you gauging that ball and the flight of it?
Well, I couldn't tell how far it was going to go, so I was going 3/4 of the way to second base, and fortunately for us, it looked like he lost it in the sun.
Derek, a 4-game losing streak where the offense had almost been non-existent. You tell me that you don't watch the scoreboard to see what the Red Sox are doing, but how important was it to win this one today?
Yeah, it's very important. We got a 1-game winning streak now. You're going to have times in the season where you're going to struggle to score runs, but you can't take anything away from their pitching staff. Their pitching staff's been good all year. They were tough on us again today, and we were fortunate to score these runs.
Derek, 10 years ago this month, you were at Ground Zero. Before this game, you were part of an emotional pregame ceremony. We don't necessarily twin a baseball victory with 9/11, that's for sure. But on this day, what does it mean to you, and do you think to New Yorkers as they watch you play today?
Well, I mean, it means a lot not only to New Yorkers but the whole country. I mean, this is something that unfortunate events that happened in New York, but it affects the whole country. And we were happy to represent New York, represent Yankee organization 10 years ago, and we continue to do that. But yeah, it was a special day. You get an opportunity to honor all the people that lost their lives, and it means a lot to us to have New York across our chest.
Have you ever seen a ceremonial first pitch like that one, though?
No, it was fun. I'm glad I had a chance to be a part of it.
Derek, thanks so much. Michael?
Thank you, Derek, and thank you, Kim, as well. So the Yankees win this one 6-5. Means a lot to the team. It means an awful lot to Austin Romine. They're hugging his brother, Andrew. They both made it to the show. Both of their dreams realized. Andrew's first, Austin today. We'll be back to wrap things up.
There I was,